This is the farthest I've ever been from Zanarkand.
Well, Gagazette's pretty close to Zanarkand.
Pretty close, yeah.
It's pretty close. Actually, it kind of makes me think, in Final Fantasy X, why did Sin drop us off all the way across the world? Seems like we would have just washed up on shore right here, right?
Yeah, I guess it's like, I don't know, time travel or whatever the fuck. Like,
Sin
all the
gets
rules are
around.
out the
The
window.
Earth rotated a little bit.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Sin, because there was a thing
Whomst
of,
amongst us.
When are you not?
a thing
Yeah.
of a thing of dialogue stuck out to me as I was catching up from like the Bavel stuff that I didn't do last week, where there's just a random like person in Bavel who says like talking about rebuilding Bavel, and they said, "We worked hard to restore the city after Sin fell on it."
Oh yeah, I guess we did do that, didn't we?
Yeah, it's like they, you know, we're going to locations that existed in the first game, and a lot of those locations got destroyed. And so I like how they were just like, yeah, Bavel's here, and we did a lot of hard work building it back, like almost exactly as it was after Sin fell on it. I was just like, yeah, that was kind of my bad. We kind of attacked Sin until he fell onto that. Sorry, guys.
Sorry for blowing its wings off. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's tasty wings.
In case you weren't already aware, this is, in fact, the Every F and FF podcast. And if you haven't been able to tell by counting the number of voices on the show today, we have a guest. Oh, my goodness. Billy, what's up, homie?
You told me I wasn't here the entire time.
Okay, technically he's been here the whole time, but this is the first time we're actually letting him talk.
When I listen to you guys in my car, I also just talk along, being like, yeah, when we talk about Waka, though. You guys were shit talking Waka the entirety of like 10. I was like, look, he got better. He gets
It's
better.
about character growth, okay?
My uncle stopped being racist. Leave him alone.
Leave my racist uncle alone. He's better now.
He has a kid.
I can say that you already have all of the experience that you need to be on a podcast, like to have your own podcast as well, because that is also what I did in the years of just driving around way too much and listening to various podcasts.
Yeah,
just chiming
honest.
in by myself to keep myself from like completely losing it, or maybe I did completely lose it as I was driving so much. Who's to say?
Nah, it's great. I love it.
That's all it takes.
Listen, man.
My fictional arguments with Curtis are amazing. When Curtis gets something
get his
completely
ass.
wrong, I'm just like, oh, damn, cannot believe this.
Luckily, I've never gotten anything wrong on this show, so I'm hoping to keep that up today.
Speaking of, I think last week we did have a couple of corrections.
This is our
to
first
make.
hotspot episode, y'all.
It is. It's our first hotspot episode.
Oh,
God
Which
damn.
means if you're not following along with 100%, welcome to the first episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Should we ask our guests who they are besides their
Absolutely,
name?
please.
No.
On camera, I'm just seeing Audacity scroll by.
I am actually just Audacity. I'm also known as BillySmilesXXL. You can find me on Twitch. I just recently got back into Final Fantasy after years of ignoring it
Nice. Based.
and going to cooler RPGs like SMT and like Shadow Hearts.
Yeah.
And Super
'Cause I'm
Mario
a cool
RPG.
kid. I actually haven't gotten back on that one yet.
Oh, nice. The remake's real
I've
good.
been playing the like Mario and Luigi games again. I love those things.
Those games are super fun.
There's no better time than now to go back. So many options and so many ways to play.
Cool. But what was your what's your like history with Final Fantasy aside from ignoring it for years, like I also did?
Okay, so the funny thing about it is, by all technicalities, 10-2 was the first Final Fantasy game I've actually played.
That's amazing.
Based.
Hell yeah.
Because I didn't play that much of it. I went to like my uncle's house, and he's just like, "Yo, you should check out all these Final Fantasy games. You like?" He's like, "You like games?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." So he showed me like Final Fantasy, and then I picked 10-2 because I'm like, "Whoa, look at that cover! It looks neat."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I do.
I just sat there and watched the opening concert like over and over again because like this is fucking sweet.
What a good scene to watch.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then he's
it's
just
good.
like, "Hey, you should probably play like 10 before you play 10-2." I was like, fuck no.
Nah.
Yeah, how hard
Yeah.
could it be? Well, you want me to play Final Fantasy 1 through 10 as well while I'm at it? Fuck off.
Like, every single
Yeah,
fucking
I was
No
like,
way,
come
dude.
on,
Yeah, you want to go
dude.
pop concert or shitty football game and that's just wet.
Yeah, and I just like Dirt
Wet
Cerberus
football.
instead because I'm a cool kid.
Yo,
Hell yeah.
You played the best ones.
Yeah, no, yeah, straight up. I played like the 2 spin-off games where I actually played the actual games that they're
That's
based
awesome.
on.
love
I knew
that.
more about Vincent than I knew about Cloud.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He's the main character.
He's a
He
character.
is.
It's fine.
I'm glad they finally put him in the remix. I'm glad he's here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's looking good.
No, they gave him armored legs and shit now too. It's cool. And they kind of added some consistency instead of just the boots.
Oh yeah.
No, the consistency makes him lame.
Also, just
I need him
long.
to mismatch more.
I just want to see him looking wistfully out a window with a glass of wine like he did in Dirge of Cerberus.
and a
And a
fucking
little flip
Nokia
phone.
flip phone. Yeah, exactly.
Fuck yeah.
Please. I need him to have that.
Oh, now I just need to
Mhm.
like. I want to 3D print that now.
Oh, that'd be so good.
That'd be nice.
But yes, like you were saying though, it is our first non 100% run episode. We're going to the hotspots. We're doing the plot of FF10-2 today. Wow.
The
Yeah.
plot starts here.
Yeah, I should cover this. I'm playing this game to have fun, so I'm not doing 100%.
That sounds like the perfect way to have fun.
Because the last time I played this, which was a few months ago, I got to the Comlands, and I was just like, you know what? I don't think it's worth it this time.
It's not worth it.
I was like, I don't want to do the Comlands. I rolled a few slots. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, the way I'm doing it this time is like I'm gonna do everything until we start going to the hotspots, and then I'll just go back through and in one sweep do every chapter's worth of like PR and like asking people if you want to marry this weird kid.
Cannot
I met this
imagine
weird
doing
guy.
this.
Can you marry his son, please? Beautiful lady.
Please. Wait, can you just speedrun that quest by saying, yeah, I'll marry him?
So you can say that, and he's like, "Oh wow, that's great," but it really wouldn't be right to ask that of you or whatever.
Instead,
Oh my
ask
God.
every single woman in the world.
Yeah, that's
That's the
a much
only way
like.
it can be right.
Yeah,
I just said I'll marry him, please.
Yeah.
Let me finish this quest.
Yeah.
I
wanna
have done none
She's
of that
Yuna.
quest.
If anyone has the power to address all of Spira, she does.
Yeah,
So I feel like
yeah.
this
Yeah, why
is
didn't you just
called-
hold another fucking press conference and be like, this guy's weird son needs a date? It's like The Simpsons with the Bachelor thing with Mo walking out with the flowers and just immediately going to the
he
rejects.
walks right into the rejected pile.
Oh, what's the name of the girl who told everyone to sing for Sin in 10? Just have her do it.
Is that Shalinda? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Shalinda, yeah,
Shalinda.
dude, Shalinda could do this mission like fast as hell. She just do it.
Oh yeah, she
that's
would be
right.
good at that.
She got the word out real fast.
She scream up in the skies, "Hey, anyone want to marry this dude's weird son?" And then you'll get at least like 2 people showing up.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easy breezy.
She's talked to Old Spirit before. She can do it again.
Well, I know one place where we can surely find a couple eligible women.
Bachelorettes.
Yeah, bachelorettes. I was like, what's the women version of bachelor? Bachelory? I don't know.
Yeah, they
Bachelorinos.
did the naming
Bachelorinos.
convention. They did the naming convention after Toad and Toadette. That's why it's called a bachelorette.
Oh, of course.
Oh.
I love Toadette so much.
I thought that means it's smaller.
Interesting if true.
My point is, Mount Gagazet is the place that we're going next.
Yeah, I just walked there.
You
from
just
the
walked there.
Clanlands,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is nice. It's a nice little trip down memory lane.
Yeah.
And it's cold. I'm excited to see the giant statue that they build of Yuna, like they promised.
Oh yeah, with the horn, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think real quick before we get into that, since we were kind of on the topic of the horrible side quest of trying to get that dude to get a bride, I saw a thing that does. One of the guides that I read said that doesn't actually matter for 100%. Only the PR stuff does. I don't know how true that is. So
Delightful.
Fuck that guy.
Don't quote
Yeah,
me
fuck
on
that
that,
guy.
but
Or don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to chapter 5 and be like, Carl, you
Yeah,
do
I
have
am-
to do it.
He needs to find love.
listen. I have it on good
His
authority.
child is the chosen one.
I read it in my Brady guide of 10-2. I'm sure they're correct about it.
I swear on my
This-
Brady guide.
This man's marriage is the key to killing Seymour again.
He needs an heir.
Yeah. But yeah, so we get to Gagazet. There's a little intro cutscene, right, when we're walking to it, where Unit talks about how, like, on one hand, very little of it has changed, but on the other hand, it's much more quiet because people don't walk through there anymore. Like, the only reason people would go to it before was on their pilgrimage, and since that is no longer a thing, they're just kind of isolated now, right?
They heard about the Seymour boss at the top.
Yeah,
They
they're
heard
like,
about the
that
Seymour
shit
boss
sounds
top.
terrible.
I know.
Also, didn't Oren like perish technically on Mount Gagazet?
This is true.
Yeah.
In fact, he did. But when we get there, we meet Kamari. Kamari's there, our boy.
He's the elder now.
He is the elder.
Which it's funny too, because if we go from the airship, we do get like a mission prompt where it's like there is no mission on the mountain yet, but it says some of the Ronso are having a tough time burying their hatred for the Guado. Man, I'd hate to be their elder. Boy, I hate to be that guy. Hey, Kamari, what's up? Hey, I'm elder now. Fuck.
Oh shit! I was gonna say something about that.
Pulling your shirt collar. Ooh.
I just forget how tall the Ronso are, like normally. And Kamari is
Kamari's
like the
short.
little guy.
I love. Yeah.
Kamari's our short king.
Yeah.
He's a short king. I love it. He's still like way more massive than any of our party.
He's like the size of. He reminds me of like the elites from Halo.
Oh,
Just, like,
yeah.
big lumbering.
I
Or
don't
the
remember
brutes.
who
The
that
brutes,
is.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like at least
They're like 10 feet tall. It's freaking.
I remember the Arbiter. He was cool.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh, hell yeah.
I keep forgetting that because like you're always Master Chief, and the Master Chief's like 6'10".
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So you're always just comparing him to Master Chief. I'm like,
Oh,
they're
no.
not that tall. And then normal Marine walks in like 5'10", is like, oh.
It's the opposite of any From Software game where your character is the short little guy, and then like a regular dude who is a boss is like easily twice your size.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I like how Tori's is like 4 of you stacked on top of each other. He's like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, he's just
exactly.
human. He's just a guy.
It's so good.
But apparently, I guess some kids have gone to the mountain to look for Kamari's horn.
Yeah. What are their names?
Leon and Aid?
Leon and Aid.
Or Leon and Aid?
Yeah. So basically, like, you know, Kamari's missing his horn or whatever, and they're kind of like under the impression that, like, oh, well, it must be out there somewhere. We'll just go find it and then bring it back to them, and that'll give them like points or whatever. It's kind of like their little mission that they're doing, right?
That's a mini game for their copy of the game, which was
That's how they
scrapped.
get 100%. So these kids have left, and there's a big issue because they didn't ask any of the like tribe if they could go. So like, there's a bit of like strife
Animosity.
happening. Yeah, there's issues happening within the Ronsos because of this. And they kind of tell you that like Kamari's kind of like, yeah, the thing is that they're like our future. There's not a lot of kids, so like they need to be safe, and they've left, and so we're kind of like, you know, up a creek without them around. Like, we do need them back. So they kind of like imply that like, hey, by the way, while you're out on your mission, if you happen to run into these kids, you know, you should send them back. To the point where there's another Ronso that we meet named Garrick, who's like the big dick asshole or whatever, who like
Yeah.
is trying to push Kamari around and be like,
He's fucking
you
huge.
became elder, and then all of our kids, all of our children left. You're doing a great fucking job, buddy. He's like being a real dick about it.
Elder, Leon and Aid not here. Children have left mountain, gone to search for Elder's horn.
What's going on?
Leon and Aid still pups, but bear Ronso future. Say they search for a way to fix Kimari's broken horn.
If Kamari act like true Elder, these things not happen.
Maybe so.
But like, he does see Yuna, and he's like, he's still very cold about it, but he's just like, oh, it's a great honor to meet you. And then he like walks away from us, you know. So I was kind of like, Garrick, you got a heart of gold
I think
beneath
he
that
said,
exterior.
Garrick no Yuna saved Spira, but Ronso not saved yet.
Yeah,
which is a fair point. I can
Yeah.
understand them being a little.
Also, is this the first time we're seeing or heard of like Ronso like offspring? Because I don't think the first game, as in 10, there were any like young Ronso.
I don't think so.
I kind of remember there being a Ronso kid, and
maybe.
not maybe named, but like an NPC walking around.
Could be.
Yeah, I swear I saw a hairy child walking around somewhere.
I'm
In the
just
game, you mean, right?
Google searching Ronso child FF10.
Google searching hairy child.
Hairy child. I feel like I kind of remember that, but everything's just pulling up Final Fantasy X too. So who knows?
Okay.
Who could say?
That's just the guy from the X-Men.
Oh, yeah.
Beast
Oh,
or
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler?
I was talking about Beast.
I was thinking Beast. Yeah.
He's not little, he's big.
How big?
Yeah, but for
He's
a
like-
for a
Oh,
Ronso,
yeah, I guess he is Kamari sized.
yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah.
Yeah,
Which
fucking
compared to
Kelsey
the other
Grammer.
Ronso is small.
Kelsey Grammer
Yeah.
is not a large man, I don't think. So Kamari is probably the same size as Beast from that movie where Kelsey Grammer plays him.
Do you think Wolverine is like the size of a Ronso child? And he's like 5'4".
Yeah.
So there's not really much to do here in Gagazet, right? We're mostly just playing.
Yes.
We're just being very agreeable.
Yes.
For
'Cause the thing to
Yeah.
do here, because there is like a mission that we'll need to complete later. All of the Ronso have like statements that they'll say, and then we're supposed to make a matching statement to theirs to kind of like
just suck up.
yeah, but to kind of like ingratiate ourselves to them, I suppose. And so it's kind of weird though too, because like a lot of the questions are, they'll be like, yo, I fucking hate the Ronso, or not the Ronso, I hate the Guado, I hope all the Guado die. And then it'll give us like 3 options, and the correct answer is like, yeah, fuck the Guado, they're like monsters, hope they burn in hell.
Yeah, it's like one of the Ronso is just like, the only good Guado is a dead Guado, and you have to be like, as Una being like, that is correct and true.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and that's how you say.
You're so right,
What
King.
the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, if you're like,
There's also like options where it's like, hey, I think you should maybe try and let go of some of that anger and seek forgiveness. And it's just like, nope, nope.
wrong.
You'll never see your boyfriend again if you fucking type that. If you answer that way.
I love that some of them are also super brutal. Like, many friends and kin died 2 years ago. Ronso grief deeper than mountain snow, and like one of the options is tough breaks, huh?
Yeah.
That's that tightest line. What the fuck?
Damn, shit sucks.
So yeah, what I would advise you do is go to the Steam 100% guide and then just look up the answers for that.
It's almost always option 2, I think, right?
Fair enough. Sometimes
I think
option
the
1,
first
but almost
couple were. Yeah.
Yeah, but for
I thought that too, and I was like, oh, nice. And then I was like, oh, that does not hold up. Like that.
Okay,
changes
actually,
definitely.
looking at the screenshots, it is like always the second option.
except for the
Except
one,
for, like,
yeah,
one.
I was gonna say there's one first option.
Leave it to the gull wings or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't say please help Kamari because that makes Kamari look like a shitty leader, I
Dude,
guess.
these
Yeah,
Ronso
yeah.
are being real dicks. I get it. I get the why they have that mindset and stuff. But yes, Guado, dark and shifty. It is the Guado way. It's like Jesus fucking
Yeah,
Christ. I
right.
thought Waka was
Like,
bad.
you know
dude.
them Guado,
and now I'm
am I
agreeing
right?
with them.
I know, and then the answer is like, yeah, it's fucked
Yeah.
up. They're just born that way. I
Woof.
can't say like whatever. So anyway, we do a little racism.
Let's put a pin in this.
Speaking of racism, can we visit Waka yet?
Yeah. yeah.
We're just like
all
him
this
now.
racism has made me miss my old friend Waka. I wonder what he's up to.
What's Waka up
it-
to? Is he?
Waka has passed the racism torch over.
I do also want to point out that it is important. There's like an extra Guado or not Guado, geez, an extra Ronso that you have to talk to. I think it's Faith Scar.
At the Faith
Oh, it's like
Scar.
the entrance
Or at
to like the
Faith
dungeon,
Scar.
basically.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember if this is like a faith or if a faith would still exist in this world and stuff. And I just saw in the guide, it was like Faith Scar. And I'm like, well, Scar is a Disney lion. So surely this Ronso could be named Scar.
Long
and I
live the
believe
king.
it. Yeah. But in order to do that, you can either climb all the way up the mountain and do a bunch of, fucked up battles, or you can just go to that cool little square right at the bottom of it and teleport
Just
directly
teleport,
there.
yeah.
Which I started doing the other thing, and I was like, wait, where is this guy? Did I miss him? Am I locked out of 100%?
yeah.
But luckily, it just teleports you right there.
Everything that seems like it's going wrong, you're just like, oh no, I'm locked out of 100%.
I was kind of just walking around trying to find him, and I went towards the Omega Ruins. Is that the name of the place, like near the Calm Lands that all of the really tough enemies were, like the Tonberries and stuff?
No, that was the shit. It's where Yojimbo was.
Yeah.
The Yojimbo Cave. The Omega Ruins was like a secret location on the map you had to go to.
Right.
The
Yeah, but
Cavern
there-
of the Stolen Faith.
Yeah, the Cavern of the Stolen Faith, exactly. So I made my way there, and I'm like, maybe this Faith Scar is here. And there's just like old people in front of it, and they're like, yep, you can't enter until the inspection is wrapped up. And I'm just like, okay, I'm the fucking high summoner. I killed
There's, like,
I killed
fumigating
Sin
the whole
and
thing.
God,
Yeah.
so I can fucking go in there.
we had to move the Faith out while we're spraying for potato bugs. Did you see a Ronso walk out of here? Oh yeah, you don't forget a thing like that. So yeah.
Anyway, enough of these guys.
We're going to Besaid, baby. We're going back home. Go. I'm excited about it. But this is our first hotspot. This is our first like plot necessary section of game.
Which means all the enemies are very easy.
It does mean that all the enemies are very easy.
We've been grinding for forever.
This is the first location I went when I first started playing this, and it was somewhat difficult. It was like enemies that we've seen in the past game, so it's not too hard, but I do think I had like a couple of like party members like, you know, get knocked out in my first playthrough of it, and now I'm just like, oh, it's not even worth, like it makes more sense for me to run away because like the 20 gil and the 2 experience they give is not worth my time of watching the victory animation.
What are you talking about, dude? You can rob them for at least 40.
Oh, that's true. I have abandoned the thief class completely for like gun mage. Like,
oh really?
Oh yeah.
I haven't figured out gun mage. I'm too dumb for it.
Oh, it's so good. It's so
Yo,
good.
psychic, y'all. You're missing out.
Oh yeah. When do we get psychic? Do we get it?
I don't know how to gain skills.
You get psychic for completing the first cup in the creature creator.
Oh right. I need to do that. Shit. I keep
the
forgetting.
other thing I don't do.
Yeah. Yo, I'm a big fan of the shit that I unlocked this week during homework with some of the different I always want to call them paradigms, but with pain. I guess we'll talk about it later because we have some boss fights coming up. But I unlocked a move called Assault, which is really fucking cool.
Yeah, Assault
really
rules.
good.
I think starting in the Calm Lands because I was getting my ass kicked by like just those big duo horns or whatever they were called. I quickly switched over to the Healing Winds garment grid just so I can like change over to another dress or outfit to basically just get a quick heal off.
Yeah.
It's so nifty just to be like, all right, I'm changing back to warrior, and then like you're topped off again. It's so nice.
That's why I have gun mage, because it's just like, well, I'm really running low on MP. Better just absorb from a bunch of these enemies.
Oh, sure. I have been doing a lot of MP absorb with the black mage. That is so golden.
It's so good.
Besaid. So we arrive back at the town. There's a little bit of a monologue with Yuna where she says this is the first time that she's been back since she started her journey, which her
journey meaning this game.
This game. Because I was like, no, I definitely came back and fought Dark Valefor, so like, this is the third time I'm back.
And Eternal Calm starts off in Besaid.
That's
Dark
true.
Valefor is not canon because that was added into the international version or whatever.
You know what?
So she did not come back.
I had to experience Dark Valefor. It's canon to me. I had to fucking deal with his ass.
Man, that was the worst sphere to not get in that.
Yeah.
Cloister. God damn.
Yeah.
Besaid
So we come back.
Island Sphere Hunt. We get the mission prompt. Sphere waves coming from Besaid. Gather information in Besaid Village and find that treasure sphere.
Find that treasure sphere. So that's why we're here. We're here to find a treasure sphere that we're detecting from the Celsius. Yuna does her little thing about how like this is the first time she's been back. You know, her party
mentions
Riku
that she like took off without saying a word, so
yeah,
it
just
makes sense
disappeared.
that Yuna would be nervous going back because her family's gonna be like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Right.
That's right. We just saw the sphere and then like, oh, cool. I'm gonna go figure out what the fuck this is about and just leave.
Yo, where's my boyfriend at?
Because all the people keep asking her for help and shit. Like, no, I'm just gonna go do my own thing.
Yeah.
It's like let her fucking rest for 2 goddamn minutes, dude.
But yeah, on the way in, like you said, Riku says like, "Oh, you left without a fuss." The way you left without a word would make a fuss or whatever. And Waka's standing in the middle of the town, right? And he hears that and he's like, "Yeah, you sure did." Like, he absolutely took off without a warning. And so we see Waka again. It's our boy. Riku calls him fat. What is she talking about? He's ripped. You can see his abs.
A lot of body shaming, which was the style at the time.
She calls him tubby, and I was like, you can see his individual like abs. Dude is like ripped as fuck. He's like shredded like cheese.
Have you seen that man's shoulders? He is sculpted.
It's
the
Go ahead.
They're just trying to set standards so when they see Lulu, like, oh yes, this is what a pregnant, a more filled out person looks like.
They're like, we will not change the character models at all, but we will comment about how they are different physically. The player's just gonna have to use their animation because we did not invent
Square
character
Enix.
sliders yet.
Square Enix, show us Fat Waka.
Give us Fat Waka. We need it.
Give us our dad body. Waka.
Yeah, that's
Daddy
right.
Waka.
Waka notices Pain and like, oh yeah, this is your friend? Like, oh yeah, this is Pain. We're sphere hunters together. Like, oh, so you're a sphere hunter now.
I just love
I heard
it.
the rumors.
Pain. I don't think Pain says anything. She's just staring
doesn't.
ahead, very scary.
You know what? I feel like there's like different teams animating every like time there's like a different.
It's like high poly face Pain in this one
Pain.
scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for just that one scene where she just nods at him. It's like she's high poly for some reason, just right
glare.
there.
It's really weird.
because he's the only person in frame.
It's super weird.
I just like I feel like the how Yuna is animated, how Riku is animated, how Pain are animated are very different.
Mm-hmm.
Like I almost feel like there's like different people in charge. Like it gives them different personalities.
Sure.
But
There's a Riku one.
when
coming
Pain's
up
high
later
res,
that-
it doesn't feel like they're actually taking advantage of her being high poly and just like her just glaring ahead.
Yeah.
That's what she does. That's her
she's
character.
stoic.
It's cool. But yeah, like Waka's like, oh yeah, I've heard the rumors.
Yeah, he hasn't been worried about Yuna. He knows she can take care of herself. And he mentions
looks
that
different.
she seems different.
She's got heels.
Yeah. And then he kind of lets it drop that he is getting ready to be a father, right? So that's his like thing that's going on. Like when Riku calls
That's
him.
his excuse for putting it like for he says he needs to have more presence. That's
Yeah,
why he's getting
yeah.
the dad bod.
That's right. And so they have a little conversation about how like Waka's like, yeah, I'm getting ready to be a dad, but like I don't know how to be a dad. I never knew my parents because sin killed them. So like, what do you do, right? Like if you don't know your parents, or you've never had parents, how do you know how to be one?
Very tragic, very sad, obviously. But I do want to focus on the hilarious bit where Yuna asks him, "Oh, how much longer until you become a father?" And Waka says, "Any day now." And you're like, "Damn, dude! Like he's about to be a dad. That's so exciting." He's just dumb as shit still. He does not know how pregnancy works. He's like fucking Goku, who like Vegeta's like, "Have you ever kissed Chi-Chi?" And he's like, "No." And Vegeta's like, "Don't you have like children with Chi-Chi?" And he's like, "Yeah, what does that have to do with it?"
What's that alignment chart that says like has fucked, doesn't know what sex is?
Yeah.
God, there's like so many bits of Goku just being like, I don't know anything about being a husband.
Yeah, or
Like
a
fucking,
father.
I think in Super there's a scene where it's like, hey, he's like, hey, Vegeta, you want to go like train with Beerus? No, I'm about to have a new kid. I gotta be there for that. I was. I guess you wouldn't know because you were dead during Goten and Gohan, weren't you?
It's like, yeah, you didn't have to worry about that, Goku. Kakarot,
Goku
because,
will do-
Piccolo was filling in all your fatherly duties. Being a
Goku
better
will do
father than you ever
anything
could
not
be.
to have to raise his kids, including be dead.
He does it a lot. He's
Especially
pretty good.
be dead. He's like, I gotta go run on this fucking endless snake path for 7 years or whatever.
But during this conversation, Waka, I think, gets like a kind of an idea because like Yuna asks like, oh, you don't have any spheres of your parents? I'm like, no, not a single. And then he kind of trails off and he's like thinking about something like this may be like, oh, maybe he does have something. Like maybe he's,
Yeah.
an idea has come to mind, which we'll come back to.
But then he's like, hey, I gotta go and do something. Can you do me a favor and go say hi to Lou? She's been worried about you.
Right.
And then he takes off.
And then we can go into well, at this point we can go talk around at Besaid Island and kind of talk to some people, which
Can't talk to finally there's dogs again.
we can talk to those dogs again. I want to give another big exclamation point, like warning, warning, possible 100% ruiner coming in. Pew, 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 pew.
I probably missed it.
So in the village of Besaid, there is a hut with a person inside who is selling the Besaid key. Okay. The Besaid key right now, if you talk to them, it's going for $900,000. Okay, so there's like no way to have that much gil right now.
There's no way to even convert gil to dollars at this point, so you're surely not going to get it.
900,000 gil. So there's no way to have that much money right now. But
Is there a Gillionaire achievement in this yet?
I don't know.
Or is that only in Final Fantasy VII?
I don't know. But regardless, speaking to that person will open up the possibility that they will sell the key to someone else and you won't be able to get it.
Oh,
Was
It's
that in
super
the
minimal.
guide?
It's super minimal. But if you go into the temple and then you talk to the priests, one of the priests will mention the Besaid key, and that will up the chance of it being sold off before you get the money to get it, like much larger.
Why? Why is that a thing?
There are other ways to get it, though. There are other ways to get it, but you just need to be cognizant that, like, hey, that might get sold, and if it does, you need to be prepared to do the other thing to be able to get the Besaid key, or else you will miss it.
So wait, I'm having
This
trouble
game
following.
sucks, is what I'm trying to say. No.
I think I did that the first time I played this, but I was just following the guide this time, and I don't think it mentions anything about that.
It does
it's
not.
Just like, go talk to Lulu, go rest, all of that. So what should we do? Like,
Just don't interact. Just do not.
just don't talk to anyone?
Just make like an 18 plus Twitter account and say minors DNI. Do not interact. Like,
Okay, because, okay.
yeah.
I definitely did that in my first playthrough, which sounds like it was possibly fucking me over from 100% in that one.
Hey, who knows?
Oh, goddamn.
Because like it may not get sold. You might do all those things and then it doesn't get sold and you're fine. But every time you like interact with it, like the chance of it getting sold goes up.
Who made this decision?
Why
Who
did
made
they
this
do this?
decision?
It's the same person who decided that, like, you need to talk to like 7 different NPCs in different areas and have them and say
No.
the right thing to them as part of like the main quest, and then also a side quest that you have to go and talk to an NPC and unlock that as another additional thing.
I kind of understand it if you're making a game from the idea that like, oh, I want every single person's playthrough to be different or something like that. So like you put in all this like esoteric weird bullshit that like changes the outcome of scenes. And that's fine if you want to do that, but then don't shame me for not getting 100%. Don't put a percentage sign on it and be like, you missed shit, you dumbass. And it's
don't
like,
make
that's
the
your
main-
fault.
Don't make the main reason that people are wanting to play this game tied to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
The one reason you're playing this is for 100%.
No, for the fucking ending that you get with 100%.
No, it's for a podcast.
Yeah, no, yeah, for real. It's for a podcast is why I'm playing it, but
I didn't know that. I thought it was just a number.
100% is just a number.
Well, it didn't stop me from going and checking on the Aurochs.
Oh, I didn't even see the Aurochs.
Wait, you didn't?
They're hanging out in the Crusaders Lodge.
This is the first thing I did. Is like, I want to see the Aurochs. Where are my boys at?
They're the boys.
Where's Keepa? I need to
we gotta
find
see
him.
Dotto.
Kipo's like, Una, how could you leave without telling us?
Aw.
I love Keepa. He's my
We've
man.
all been worried, but it looks like you're having fun.
I can't believe Keepa let one slip by him because that's his whole thing.
Bada says, I'm saving every last drop of stamina for Blitz this year, but all this stamina is making me kind of sleepy.
Well, all FF10
Doing some
heads,
no nut November shit for the off season.
all Final Fantasy X speedrun heads want to know, what is Jasu up to?
Hell yeah.
He just says, hey, look who's here. Hope you decide to stick around for a bit.
Oh, well, he's too busy going fast to have to like have a full conversation.
Yeah, it's straight and to the point.
That's right.
No training, I guess. They just kind of just rest.
Good. He's the fastest.
I guess that explains why they're kind of terrible. They just
Well, they say they're kind of terrible, but Jasu is literally faster than any of the Luca goers. So
Hell yeah.
think
Fuck
about
those
that for a
guys.
second.
I wonder what they're up to.
I hope they're dead.
I hope they're fucking dead.
I've been talking to the Ronso a lot, and they got me thinking, and I fucking hope all of the goers are dead, and they die. Okay, fuck those guys. I didn't want the fucking Jex shot anyway, or whatever. Or, no, wait, no, that's not the Jex shot. What do you get for beating the first game?
You get a
Nothing?
strength sphere.
Oh god, what a fucking that sucks.
Yeah, but come on. It's great.
You just get the satisfaction of that being the thing in the story that you want to happen, that they try really hard to make you not do it, which I'm glad they continued that tradition in Final Fantasy X too.
Oh, I guess you also get that big gnarly trophy.
It just gets subbed out for a Blitzball in the same model.
If they-
He's like holding either the Blitzball or the trophy, depending on. It's the same exact animation.
I feel like if like the same team with the same philosophy of 10-2 made 10, they would have tied winning that match against the goers to 100%. And they also would have done that with the Jex shot. And you would have been like, what the fuck?
You
This
just
shit's impossible to get first try.
you just can't
They're
go
gonna
fight
be like-
villains without it.
Depending on if you know the Jack shot, Titus will live or die.
Remember your trading side.
It's like you learn the Jack shot, you beat the goers, Titus lives.
Yeah.
It's making Shadow Hearts Covenant rules.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Really.
I love that game.
I was gonna say, how good is Shadow Hearts?
The entire time while talking about like 100% being an ending, I was just thinking like, man, Shadow Hearts did this too, and I think it was way less like esoteric and dumb.
Yeah, dude, Shadow Hearts is so good. I can't wait till we do our spin-off season of Shadow Hearts.
Hell yeah.
Dude, put me in there. I gotta talk about it.
It's kind of good
I
though.
love that game.
But yeah. So we can
Wawa. I almost said Wawa.
Wawa.
Wawa house.
Let's go
Yeah,
to
they put
Wawa.
all Wawa
Waka and
in
Lulu's.
Besaid, so it's more tourists are coming now that the cloisters shut down the...
I'm looking around. All they have is a Buc-ee's, and I'm like, fine.
See, I've never been to Buc-ee's, and I really
Neither
wanna
have I.
go.
I can't
So
talk shit
I would
about it.
not slander the kind name of Buc-ee's.
You ever had a Publix? That's just pretty good.
No, but I've
Ooh,
heard
those are
really
good.
good things.
I mean, if you go there, you just grab a hoagie.
Hell yeah.
They're good. They're real good.
Hoagie.
But yeah, we're gonna go to Lulu's house.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and Lulu's in there. She's just like hanging out.
You're just chilling on the sofa.
Hey, if you do talk to Riku, she does say she doesn't look pregnant. They're like really lampshading it here.
Wait, did she really say that?
Yeah,
She
yeah,
does, and she's right. Lulu does not look pregnant.
She doesn't look like the developers wanted to change her asset at all.
Yeah.
Like, you got a tight enough course that you can hide any baby.
That baby's gonna be extremely like elongated, just like
I was gonna, like, okay, I forgot you could see Lulu's legs because I was gonna say, here's my theory.
leg, just one.
Lulu is just like, if you know the Pokemon Gothtel, the weird
Oh, yeah.
like
Mhm.
gothic Pokemon.
Uh-huh.
In the anime, it shows like her like what's under her dress, and she's just like a big old Vienna sausage. And I was gonna be like, that's just Lulu. The baby's hiding in the dress part.
Just one big round meaty leg, like the leg stick.
Yeah, she's like one
Interesting.
big old hot dog body with like tiny little legs.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm looking at the
I can work with
sitting
that.
the sitting cutie plush of it, and I don't see any hot dog like thing. So I'm wondering if that's.
It was in the anime. How did
Oh,
they get rid of it?
yeah, I trust you. Oh, I'm seeing some very passionate fan art as well, as you would imagine.
Yeah, no, don't look up
Googling any
Gothtel legs.
Pokemon.
Please.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see exactly.
Do you see it? Save it and put it in the
I will
Discord.
put it in the chat. Yeah.
I would like to see this hot dog body.
Googling any Pokemon is dangerous at this point. Please don't
Yeah,
do it.
that's like a whole that's a big section of daycare dittos is them just being like, and there's the hentai. Okay.
With Gothtel, you get it real fast.
So yes, Lulu's here.
Looking very pregnant, yes.
Yeah, so she pops in, they have a little bit of a talk, and Lulu wants to go on a walk, right?
Yeah,
She's like,
well,
let's get up.
real quick, Riku says, so tell us about the baby. It's going to be born soon, right? And she says, not yet. Waka's getting a little ahead of himself.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, she must be like in her first trimester, and then like later on, I'm like, huh.
Oh, I didn't even think of it that way. Yeah,
Dudes
you're
rock,
right.
dude. It could be any day. I don't know.
That's fair enough.
It could be.
She's been pregnant for like a month. It's like, I could be any day.
How long do we have to wait?
Yeah. So she wants to go on a walk after that. We follow her up to the little the overlook above the Besaid village.
It's where the little prayer like cairn statue thing was.
where they do a
Little
prayer in
precipice.
Final Fantasy X as we're leaving town for the
and
first time.
Tidus could decide whether or not he wants to join in.
And she says like, "Hey, why did you leave? Like, why did you leave so suddenly or whatever?" And Yuna's like, "Oh, it was this," and she shows Lulu the sphere of Titus ? Right? Like with in the cage being like, "Oh, let me out," and screaming or whatever. And Lulu's like, "Yeah, that does look like him, but something's not right. I'm not certain that that's who that is." And everybody's kind of like on the same page. Like, yeah, something's wrong. We don't know what it is.
Something weird here.
Yeah,
The
but
fact that
it
he
definitely
kinda has
looks
a
like
beard
him.
going
Though.
on.
Yeah.
Titus seems like a guy who can't grow a beard.
Oh, 100%. He would try and grow a really shitty mustache, too.
Yeah, it's kind of scraggly on him. And I don't know if I'm misinterpreting it, but it does look like he kind of has a beard going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I can't see Titus having that.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
Fucked up. So yeah, Lulu asks us like, "Oh, well, have you found anything?" And admittedly, Yuna's like, "We haven't found anything, not a thing yet."
Yeah, there's still a lot of places we haven't looked.
Right. And then Lulu kind of comments like, well, you're out there, you're having a good time, and now you can finally spread your wings because I'm not around, because I guess like in FF10, it was like Lulu and Wakka's job to make sure that she followed the pilgrimage and did everything very like by the book. So she's like,
and that's the main reason why Lulu is not a protagonist, because she would just like keep them from doing anything because she's very motherly.
The developers have said that that's why they put Pain in the game instead of Lulu, just because, it wouldn't really make thematic sense of being like, yeah, let's just dick around the whole world, like doing whatever.
But think about all the Lulu outfits we could have had.
It would have been really good.
Damn, I don't want to think about that. Now I'm sad.
Think of all the belts.
It's a choice that I like Pain, so I'm
Pain is sick.
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah,
but
no,
I'm also
Pain's
like,
cool.
damn it, dude, I want to see like I want to see Lulu in an actual Black Mage witch outfit.
I was
That
gonna
would
say
be so sick.
white mage Lulu would be too
It'd
crazy.
be so good.
Too crazy.
It'd be so good.
Wow.
Really makes you think.
Yeah.
But Lulu warns Yuna kind of like, you're the high summoner that defeats sin. There are those who would use that, like just she's afraid that she's going to be like
Swept up into
don't
some,
forget who you are.
Yeah, some new bullshit.
And then Yuna's like, no, I've learned. I will never let anyone ever use me again. Just don't go back in every episode of this podcast this far where like somebody asks her to do some random thing and she's like, well, gotta do it. Gotta go find that Hypello and like bring the boxes
I'm
back.
in a Moogle costume.
Yeah. I guess we're going digging on Beacon
I
now.
won't let myself be used anymore. By the way, I'm trying to find a girl for this guy.
Yeah.
By the way, I know things are getting kind of serious with Wakka, but there's this weirdo I met in the Calmlands.
I'm never gonna let anyone use me. This post sponsored by Ardent.
All I've seen is him looking forlorn on an outside couch, staring at me creepily. So
now, if you don't mind, Lulu, it's time to thank today's sponsor, Open Air Incorporated.
use discount code UNA for 10% off your next purchase of 100 points or more.
But
It's like people don't want to do anything unless they get paid. That's just real sad.
It is my choice, and it's also the choice of a new generation. We will not bow to any sponsor.
But yeah, so they're talking about that, and then Lulu like stops for a second. She goes, oh, and like something's like, oh, everybody's like, oh, what's happening? And she's like, oh, the baby kicked or whatever. And so like Riku's all excited about it. She's like, oh, I want to feel the baby. And that's kind of the end of the
Maybe
scene,
doing a
right?
jack shot in there.
Yeah.
There
is a
Maybe it must be like that small.
there is a like a panning shot with Pain just kind of standing off by that statue that we prayed at, and there is a like Resident Evil style glowing flash thing there, like like you got to pick up a small key or something.
Oh
yeah. I miss those.
Me too.
And like when TVs were small and they had to like kind of point out which pixel you had to interact with.
Yeah. Damn, Resident Evil's good. Anyway, so we go back to town. Lulu's like, all right, I'm gonna head back home. You go ahead and like hang out around town, but stay the night.
Feel free to stay the night. Yeah.
Yeah, whenever you're done doing whatever you're doing, come back, stay the night, and we'll pick up in the morning. So now you have the option to go off and you can go buy some items. You can run around the island if you want, but there's really nothing else to do other than like what we've already discussed. So I just go back to bed. And when you wake up, there's nobody in the house, right? So the next morning, it's just Yuna. She wakes up in bed. Lulu's not there. Wakka's not there.
When we walk outside, there's just a fucking like beer bottle or something just right outside the hut, just like
Yeah, I
chilling.
thought that was very conspicuous.
Like yeah, you can't interact with it or anything. It's just there's like a bottle, like a green.
Wakka's
bottle
becoming a dad. He's got to prepare.
yeah, he's gotta be.
He's got to sit on the porch and drink a few beers.
Ah, shit, my bush light.
Yeah. He's drinking like a light beer. Yeah.
Definitely looks like a Yingling bottle. He seems like a Yingling guy.
He's got to mow his lawn he doesn't have.
Poor Riku's making him drink light beer.
But yeah, Lulu's outside and she's like, we ask like, yo, where's Wakka? And she says, oh, he left like super early this morning. Walked off and said something about a cave, but I don't know where he's going. And so, like, we offer to go look for him and say, like, oh, well, there could be fiends. He might be in danger. And Lulu's like, well, that's sweet of you to ask, but, like, I think Wawa. I called him Wawa!
Yo, Wawa! My favorite couple, Wawa, Lulu.
But she says, like, No, he could probably handle some fiends. It's not a big deal. But like, if you want to go find him, like, go get him, whatever, go hang out. But he's probably fine because like he's gonna, kill the shit out of some fiends. Flying fiends, ridiculous. He's got that handled. No problem.
He's
got that shit down.
Yeah, he's gonna use slots on them or whatever. Just get all 3 water slots and just do like triple 9s damage or quadruple 9. It'll be fine. Yeah. So we're now able to, we get a mission now, right? Like it's mission start time. But we don't get the cool music for the mission. It doesn't do like that and like give us the cool like mission music.
We just get the swing as the overlay.
You just get
up.
the little schwa. Yeah.
Swing.
Oh yeah, and isn't this when Brothers just starts calling you at random?
Yes. So,
Okay, so
as we go up the hill, I think towards like the beach or whatever, we start getting just intermittent calls of just a completely distraught brother who just
he's so down bad.
Says
I hate to see a king like this.
WYD, you up.
Yeah, he's so down bad. Hate to see a king like this.
If you don't answer him after 3 times, he starts using misogynistic language on you and saying that she's ugly anyway and stuff, and he's gonna KYS and stuff. And
I was so on board with Brother until this whole unit thing started coming up. I'm like, come on, bro.
Before we
so the first thing we get is like, any trouble? It's like, yeah, we're fine. How are you guys? Like, my heart is aching.
My heart is aching.
Any trouble?
We're fine. How about you guys?
My heart is aching.
Huh?
Nothing.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, he just keeps calling her. It's like, bro, you gotta let her go. You gotta give her some
Brother,
space, bro.
calm down.
Yeah,
You're
calm
related.
down. You're coming on too strong, my man. You gotta freak her out.
Dude, she's your cousin. Just meet up at the next family meet.
He really is like if you gave a dog a phone.
I would love to give my cats a phone. I would love to talk to them when I'm out.
But yeah, did we read the mission time?
I have not. Would you like to read it?
It says, Wacket sure is acting weird, and now he's gone off to some cave. Gather clues from the villagers to track him down, and maybe you'll find treasure along the way.
Men will really just go off to some cave.
Yo, hell yeah. Dudes will see this cave and just say, hell
His
yeah.
man cave.
Hell yeah. This is it.
You live like this?
Like, we all know every man, before he becomes a father, walks into a cave.
That's part of
He
becoming
comes out a father.
Yes, this is a man cave. It was more dad.
You
is
walk
more
into
dad
the
shit.
cave of man, you walk out, you got your Hawaiian shirt on, your cargo shorts, your flip-flops. Yeah, it's dad time.
Got some New Balance shoes on.
Yeah, you only shop at Kohl's from now on. Like it's incredible.
Yeah, it says man cave rules. My cave, my rules. No sitting in my chair. Keep hands off remote. Women by invitation only. Any objectives of rules, please refer to rule number 1.
So besides looking for the man cave and being called by brother and like harassed by him intermittently, basically there is if we walk around the island, you'll notice that there's like a metal door like further down the island toward the beach that can't be opened.
Yeah. Was that there? Was that piece of geometry there in the first game?
I don't think it was, no.
It was not.
Yuna does bring that up by saying, I don't remember there being a cave here, but...
Yeah.
Sin fell down and knocked over some rocks. You're good. Don't worry about it.
It does look like a weird like old phone booth or something.
It
strange.
does. But there is a passcode that's needed to get in, and that's where we need to go. So the numbers for the passcode are hidden around the island on like conspicuous objects. So like
They actually show up on your mini map as a purple square.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
don't
even
think
notice that.
I don't think they do in the original. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like I had a little bit of trouble with this. I only found 3 of them. I also didn't fully grasp you have to hold a button to interact with some geometry, like the jump mechanic.
I forgot
that.
that I just hold B to like jump. Like, how do I jump again?
So I only found 3 of them in the other, and then I brute forced my way through the last of it.
That's what the speedrun does.
I hate that the first one that we would be passing, which is I think where brother first calls us, is also next to like one of those glyphs that has like one of the secret messages from the last game.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like they didn't get rid of it. It's just still there. So it's like extremely distracting. Like this looks important.
Yeah.
When in this game it is not. It's like playing Tears of the Kingdom and like all the old shrines are still there.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I can't interact with this. Why is it still here?
Yeah, so the very I guess you could say that's the first one. There's another one that's the Resident Evil small key that we saw earlier that was like on the little statue. And then 2 of them are on the beach. And it's funny, though, that, Carl, you were saying you got like 3 of them and then you brute forced it, because in the speedrun, they actually do that. They grab the one on the statue, they grab the one you have to jump up to get, and the first one on the beach, because it's real close, and then you just run back to the door and you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and like try every combination of the last one.
I did it, and I was there was someone in my chat who I think was a speedrunner of it or really enjoyed the game, and I was just like, oh, like, can I just brute force this, or do I actually have to like interact with the thing? And someone in my chat was like, I don't think you can brute force this yet, and I just like put in the last number, like I just like the one that I didn't have, and I like put a 7 or whatever, and it was just like click, access granted. I was like, no fucking way.
Let's go. Yeah, that's awesome.
Got it in one.
Lucky
baby.
7.
There's also like
000, the default password.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The password was 8008. That's incredible.
Yo, that's taking the man cave. That's how Waka solved it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's weird that there's a password and he just locked it behind him. And why are these clues like hidden around the island? Like, why is it associated
It's
with
very
this? It's
weird.
like, I don't see any of the story reason.
Doesn't
why.
really make sense when we
Because
find out the
video
story
game.
of like what's going on with this cave and stuff. Like, that's fine, but like the fact that there's Machina blocking it and there's like a cipher around and stuff, it's like, I don't know. I guess that has more to do with like the I don't know, the sphere that's in here or something. Whoever put the sphere in here set that up, I guess.
I actually missed the door the first time, and I was like, we're like, oh shit, am I have to like figure out what order these numbers are going to go in and have to remember? Like, it was like I took screenshots to remember what they were, but it just automatically puts them.
It does. I also took screenshots for that reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, it's like, I think it's random for every person.
Every
so I guess there is
playthrough will be random. Yeah.
So there is a universe where it will be boob, probably.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We have to find it.
In the Steam guide, I think they said that their password was 7007.
Holy shit.
We got to find the boob seed.
You gotta find the boob seed.
The best RNG you can get. I do like that there's like some treasure chests scattered around as well that you can find. Like there's one when you're walking like near the bridge. I accidentally I fell off the bridge by accident and just jumped down, and then I was like, oh cool, there's a chest with 2 chocobo wings in here. That's cool. Yeah. And then you can climb back up by using the the new innovative tech that they put in this game. Hold button.
B.
Speaking of which,
hold button, go up.
Speaking of like walking from area to area or whatever, I would say that the enemies are not too interesting here. There's like
just flans and dogs.
They're early enemies from the first game as well.
I think, can we find the Iron Giant here yet?
No.
I don't know.
He may show up in chapter 2. Either way, an Iron Giant shows up on Besaid Island, and he's like as strong as like one of those dogs. It's ridiculous. He like hits you and goes like 10
it's
damage.
pretty funny.
Yeah, and you're like, what?
And I'm gonna be real. Before we started recording, I was getting like Besaid Island chapter 1 and 2 like fused together.
No.
So I was like ready to talk about whole Auroch plot line. I was like, oh wait, no, that doesn't happen yet.
Oh shit! Do you want to like dip out and come back?
Come back. Josu's in the military now. Help him. Josu's in danger.
They set up those like recruitment like booths.
But yeah, so we have access to the cave now. We can go in there and Waku. God damn, I cannot get his name right. Waka's just sitting on the ground, right? He's just like cross-legged, sitting on the ground, and they
just thinking.
He's just thinking.
Actually, do you find it really funny is that like he doesn't sit down until like you walk up to him.
Oh yeah, you see the animation as if he just got there.
Yeah.
Which is funny because he left really early this morning or something like that.
It took him a while to figure out the password.
But he's like he's kind of waffling about the reason that he's there, you know. We ask him like,
it's also funny that he's not surprised that you're there. It's like, oh, what's wrong?
Yeah.
It's like we just use a password to get in. We just went around the house and we went around the entire island.
Yeah.
Trying to look for you, and they're like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. He's got his mind on something else, but we're not quite sure what it is yet. He kind of waffles about it a little bit where we're like, yo, why are you in here? What's in here? And he's like, well, there's a thing in here, but maybe it's not in here. But if it is in here, I kind of want to see it. But if it is in here, I kind of don't want to see it. It's a sphere. And then Payne's like, oh, well, we're going to go get it. Fuck it. We're sphere hunters. And they're like, oh, yeah, I guess we should just go ahead and get it regardless. Fuck whether you want to see it or not. Who cares? We're going to go get it. We're sphere hunters. We're getting that bag. So And so we go off to do so, and then brother calls us again, and there's another little scene where Buddy tells us to ignore him. He's like, "Yeah, don't listen to him. Everything's fine. Please don't worry about it."
You get one more. Yuna, are you okay?
Yeah,
and I think before that is the one where he calls. There's dead silence, and then Buddy just says, "Just ignore him."
Yeah.
Yuna, are you okay?
Yuna, are you okay? Are you okay? Ow.
And then you got this fun little platform dungeon.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like hardly a dungeon. It's like
I know.
It's like a hallway.
It's like a hallway.
Okay.
It's like a Final Fantasy 13.
The reason why this one stands out to me so much is because there's just this small section that involves you gotta hold the jump button and hold forward, and Yuna does this whole little platforming moment.
Yeah.
She's like hopping from little platform to little platform. Like, this looks really entertaining, but like, I'm not doing it.
This does feel like underwhelming, considering like the first quote unquote dungeon we did was Mount Gagazet, the very intro one. It was like this feels like a tutorial stage, even though like we already did a really long tutorial stage earlier.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we just go down one hallway, jump across a few pillars, and then we're in like, we see the sphere at the end of the hallway in this big kind of grand pillared area.
Right. And we get like a little cutscene where like the party kind of like kneels around it and are like, "Oh wow, here's a little sphere," or whatever. And as they're kind of like looking at it, we see behind them there is a big like dragon or dinosaur or something like getting ready to attack us. And I like that like the party doesn't like turn around to acknowledge it. They just talk to each other like, fucking fiends, am I right? Like
Pain does say, "Find a sphere and the fiends appear."
Yeah.
I do find it kind of silly how they frame these shots, because I think like two bosses in a row, I think we'll talk about it in the next half of the episode, where like they don't even fit in the frame. They don't bother framing the monster. They're just like kind of smooshed into the frame.
Yeah, actually, when I fought this boss, I remember this one really well, mainly because of how big its fucking horns are. And because of that, Yuna was just kind of trapped in his head when the fight started. Also, I'm pretty sure like you fought this guy on Mount Gagazet.
Yeah, this is like the Sanctuary Keeper kind of model, but
wait,
with
is
a different,
is that this boss? This one's just like a dragon. This is the dragon.
Sorry, that's in Zanarkand you're thinking of.
Yeah, the one with the big horns is a little later, I think. This one is like a nondescript dragon.
Yeah, this is Flame Dragon.
I've seen him.
Yeah, with the next one. The next one's the one you're talking about.
Oh, the next one definitely
yes.
we have. Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Yeah. This is just like a T-Rex that breathes fire, and it's called the Flame Dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the guy I'm thinking of. I got the bosses mixed up. Might be.
Oh no, it's. I also thought that boss was here. And I was like, oh right, it was this boss that I forgot about because I scanned it. It has 980 HP, which is nothing for my team right now. It's weak against ice, and it's a dragon fiend that belches flames from its giant maw. It lives in a cave near Besaid. It is just as powerful as it looks, but its attacks are fairly monotonous. Is what the fucking thing says.
Sounds like me. I love him.
Yeah, whoever wrote the
I'm endeared.
Just kind of dunking on him.
I hit him with I can't say that I one-shot this boss because I had to build up a chain first, but I had Riku go, did 2 hits with Thief. Pain went next, did a chain 2, and that allowed a chain 3 of Blizzara to do like over 1,000 damage, which he has 900 HP. So what does this boss do? Who knows? Just cast Blizzara. It's fine. He dead.
I've heard that it's fairly monotonous, so.
That's what they say.
I need to actually learn how to do chains better.
They're kind of hard, but like once you get like the timing down, it is worth it because it makes your attacks crazy strong.
Yeah, it's really.
I'm not
really
used
satisfying.
to like active time. I'm a turn-based baby boy. That's all I know.
It's definitely weird.
It's that SMT life that you were sworn to leave.
10 is so good. The combat in 10 is so good.
I didn't have to think about going fast. I just had to think.
Yeah. And boy, do they make you think in the late parts of that game.
That's why it's so good.
But at the end of this battle, we get the sphere, and it turns out that, hey, it's a dress sphere. Wow. And it's like one of the most important ones in the game, or in any Final Fantasy game, is the white mage dress sphere. Oh, boy.
Finally got the white mage dress sphere.
Oh, boy. So I threw that on Riku, and I've just had it on Riku the whole time.
Oh, really?
Which, by the way, awesome thing about the white mage. So white mage doesn't have attacks in this game. You can't. There's no like attack command. if you make one of your characters a white mage. Instead, it's replaced with Pray, which gives everybody in the party like a very small amount of HP back. But if you have somebody casting it every turn, as like if you're just holding A, then like it keeps your HP up pretty well. And my favorite thing about it is every single time you pray, you get another AP, so you can max out White Mage so fast. It's
really
sick.
nice. I was doing that as well. I put it on Yuna, and her like costume change is really good. She's got like the classic sort of like White Mage hood, kind of like Garnet has in Final Fantasy IX, but like a lot larger. It's like an oversized hoodie version of it, and then just like a full dress, but. It was what I really liked is her weapon turns into her staff from Final Fantasy X.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, thematic consistency. I guess she was a white mage, technically, right?
Yeah, she was supposed to be your like white mage.
Summoner.
Yeah. I just immediately made her a black mage because her magic power was fucking incredible.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so we get that. We take it back to Waka, and we're like, all right, Waka, is this the sphere you want? And so we'll take a look at it and see. And it's like, it's boring as hell, homies.
Yeah, it's just some shots.
It's mostly just pointing out secret chests around Besaid, maybe, that we can like, oh, maybe we can access those.
Yeah, there's
somewhere.
one like on top of a cliff. There's the one under the waterfall that I found.
Yeah.
It's just like really weird, staticky, like CRT footage.
Yeah,
it's like
which is just really fucking
footage.
weird. Because it's just making me think. Like,
it's nicely edited though. There's some nice cuts.
That is true.
It's a good B-roll.
But like, who recorded this?
Yeah, I guess it does.
Like, is someone just carrying around like a sphere and just attaching it to walls or something?
I think it makes more sense if you think of it as either CCTV or B-roll. It's like just shooting random things.
Yeah, makes sense. That was the Besaid University film student who's trying to get some establishing shots.
Yeah, and then like so as soon as we see that. Riku's like, oh, is this it? And Waka's like, afraid not. Which I wish that was the one that he was looking for. Like, yes, this is what I wanted. I'm making a movie, and I shot this a long time ago. I need it. But it's not the sphere he was looking for. So the party starts to walk back. We're walking down that path with the waterfalls on it.
It's kind of a cool, tasteful, like cinematic thing where they have like a lockdown camera with like a very like long. Focal length, seeing them come around the corner,
nice, yeah.
Around the cave.
It has like fades,
and then they do little cross fades as they come closer and closer, kind of like a little bit of a time jump thing.
Yeah,
as he's explaining this.
So the party asks him like, "Well, what was on the sphere that you're looking for? Like, what are you looking for?" And he explains that back when his brother was alive, who we learn about in Final Fantasy X, Chapu.
We're using his sword currently. If you're playing as one,
yeah,
that's right.
Using his sword.
He basically says like, oh, well, when I was younger, my little brother and I got into an argument, and my little brother, like out of like anger or whatever, was like, hey, I found a sphere that had a recording of our parents on it, but I'm not going to tell you where it is because you're being a dick. To like hoard it over him.
Wow.
And, in the party, I think
fair,
it's like...
Choppa was probably in the right. Waka was probably being a dick.
And our party's like, well, did you ever ask him where it was? And he was like, no, I was too stubborn to like let my little brother win. I could never like say I was sorry or whatever. So I just didn't care. I just never asked him about it. And as we know, and he explains again, he went off to be a crusader and then he died fighting Sin. So Waka never got the chance to ask him where that sphere was.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh,
forgot about it. Yeah,
he forgot
about it until Yuna was like, hey, don't you have any spheres of your parents? Like, you don't know what your parents were like at all.
Right. And so he's like, yeah, once you said that, I was thinking like, oh, you know what? Maybe it's time to go look for one. I've heard that there's like this cave or whatever with the sphere. Maybe that's it.
Because that's where I think Chapu used to go hang out and play.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a baby dinosaur he would play with. And we just murdered it.
But he says like one of the reasons that he kind of forgot about it and like didn't think about it was that he's gotten over it. And he's like, yeah, I've like made this picture of my parents in my head of what they look like and like who they are, having not known them for so long. So I kind of didn't want to go get the sphere anyway, because what if I get that sphere and then I see who they are, and they're not the people who I picture in my head.
Just a bunch of schmoes.
Yeah, he's like, I imagine them being like very strong and proud and like righteous, and like, what if that's not them? I think I prefer the ones that I'm thinking of. So he never went to sea, right?
Yeah, so when we came into the cave, he's like, yeah, I was trying to figure out if I even wanted to see it or not, and that's when you guys came into the cave.
Yeah. And I guess that's it, right?
That's it. He just says like, he reflects again on like, I'm getting ready to be a father, so I have to put the past in the past. It's just difficult not knowing anything about my own father to then go be one, right?
Yeah, and Yuna's like, hey, maybe we could find, there's a lot of places we didn't look. Maybe there's still a sphere here that we could find. And he's like, I'm kind of done.
Yeah.
I don't need to find it.
And then as he's like musing about that, we get another call from Buddy, and Buddy's like, yo, are you done? Because I am so fucking tired of brother right now. I need you to come back. Like, please. I'm just like, poor Buddy.
It's very funny that like we've spent so much time not going to Besaid, which I think this is probably like the first area that you're meant to really go to. I think a lot of times.
I mean, it's the first one I wanted to go. Like, oh yeah, this is where my friends are.
And it's like we immediately at the start of the game we find out all the deal with like brother and his infatuation with Yuna and stuff, and then immediately you go there and you're like, oh, this dude's just annoying as shit. But like since we haven't really had that in like weeks of playing this now, and then we're just like, oh right, he's being annoying, but it's like. It being spaced out of like going on like 5 or like 10 different trips and him not saying anything. And then suddenly it's like he went back to like, we went to the easiest area and he's just like, oh my God, are you okay? It's pretty funny.
Well, he had a little time to see. He's been like doing the opposite of simmering. He's been stewing in it for a while. He just hadn't said anything.
He's been doing the thing where he's like, I can't reply right away because that just makes me look desperate. I got to act like I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't care. And then one night he's just like, no, I care now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the end of the Besaid Island part of the chapter.
Mission complete.
Mission complete. And then you go back to the ship.
We also scored the protection halo garment grid.
I didn't look at what it did.
Yeah, me neither. I meant to, and then I would imagine it just gives you access to protect.
Protect, yeah. Turns out it only gives you shell, and we feel like absolute fools.
Oh yeah, no, it boosts your defense and magic defense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does. +5 for each. It's kind of an X with a circle around the outside, and every cardinal directions has stuff between it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's similar to some of the other ones we have. It's just the passive effects are different.
Nice defense stuff. I'm going to stick with my healing one for now. Also, I guess I didn't switch out my try on a different garment grid for the first time until like this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that individual party members can have the different grids.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they can.
I was like worried, like, I don't want to change it because then I'll have to like figure out how everyone fits into this grid. But I realized like, oh wait, I can just pick and choose how this person's grid is.
Yep.
It's really nice. It's
if they're the only one with that grid, yeah.
It's a really satisfying system that you can get into really fun situations with it because of it. You're like, well, I don't really need too many things on paint, so I'm going to do the one that only has 2 of them, so she can turn into her Gundam.
Right.
Yeah.
But after this, I think we're gonna go to the next, and looks like the last hotspot, right?
Yeah.
Zanarkand. So I think what we should do is do the 100% thing, go back to the Celsius, and then go to the cabin, and then take a rest, and we'll continue after that. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, I will see you all in just a moment.
Sleep tight.
Oh, I did none of this shit. I'm looking at the guy. No, the monkey side quest thing.
You didn't
none
do
of
it?
that. No. I didn't understand what the game was trying to tell me, so I only did all of like the main stuff, and then like this Operation Monkey stuff I did not do.
Wait,
Right.
that stuff is the next chapter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Operation Monkey.
This chapter
bullshit
will-
is
And
next
we're
time.
going to talk about like what we were doing with monkeys. There's like, I genuinely thought monkeys were the key to the puzzle. Okay, you remember the room of the elevator, right?
Yeah.
Up top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought you had to like make the monkey like run away from you, and then bring them somewhere else. So I was like, I was playing with the monkey AI for like an hour, just trying to be like, how the fuck do I make the monkey fall in love? I don't get it.
Yeah. Like,
and I just said, screw it, went down the elevator. It's like, oh, I didn't have to.
Well, speaking of make the monkey go down the elevator, it's time to go to
Zanarkand.
Zanarkand.
They're not allowed to go down there.
Yeah, they're not allowed to go down. The monkeys are not allowed into the Chamber of the Faith. Unalesco will destroy them.
the monkey is in love with Yuna, and an old lady says, "Stay away from the summoner."
This place is lousy with monkeys. But we're here in Zanarkand.
Did we make a joke in FF10, that FF10 season, that she would have been the best goalkeeper for Blitzball because she's always keeping people away from the summoner?
Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
If not, I'm making
We
it
didn't
now.
retroactively. We did
Yeah,
just
that's
now. But yeah, we have the Zanarkand sphere hunt, and the mission, if you're going from the airship, is we're getting sphere waves from deep inside the ruins. Given the place, I wouldn't be surprised if it was one that was 1,000 years old.
Wow.
There's also mention of the sphere Asphila finder or whatever, however you say
Yeah.
it. I think Payne says that. She's like, yeah, we got some waves.
We got
the
some waves
Asphila
from
finder.
the Sphere Finder. Love it. Yeah, so the very first thing that happens when we go down to Zanarkand is, once again, we get a little bit of that narration that Yuna always gives us when we go to a location.
This
where she
is my
tells us what
story.
it was. I like this one. Yeah, this is my story area.
This one's really good.
I like this whole like premise. I think this is a good premise for the story. She's like, this is where we were on that one night, like so many years ago, right before we went and fought Sin. It's like their emotional lowest point. It's probably like
The opening cutscene that we watched before Final Fantasy X of everyone really somber because they know what's waiting for them, and it's the end of Yuna's journey and tensions are really high. And Yuna mentions that she never talked about it because she didn't want to share those memories. She wanted to keep that feeling and keep that place within her forever, and always just kind of like have that as a special place with such deep meaning. And she says, and now look at it, and there's fucking tourists everywhere.
tourist location, tourist trap.
First, they fucking Guado moved into my fuck pond, and now there's fucking a Starbucks at the Zanarkand.
Yeah, if anyone should be in the fuck pond, it's the Hypello, okay?
On God, brother. Yeah. So like I say, this become a tourist trap. There are people all over the place gawking about. And I don't know, I'm kind of like of split mind about this, right? I'm of split mind about this. I see what Yuna's saying. She's kind of like, oh, that's fucked up that they're just turning this into like a place where capitalism thrives, right? Like selling like tour packages to this holy site or whatever. And on the other hand, I'm like, all these people deserve to know the history of what happened here. Like, they do live in this world.
I feel like it depends on how they're portraying the history of it, though. You know, I feel like it's like it's like Betsy Ross is just like, oh my god, this is my darkest moment. This is the corner that I sat in all those years ago, and I always wanted to keep this memory safe when I was putting together this flag for the country or something. And now it's just like the drill tweet of like, buddy, they won't even let me fuck the flag. People keep asking me if they can fuck the flag.
I mean, it could have gone worse where, like, I mean, everything seems pretty much exactly how it was we left it, at least. It's not like Nautilus Park where they could have, like, a giant, like, mascot of Sin walking around you can take pictures with and shit like that.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, as we'll see, even though it is a tourist area now, it's not being treated with the most respect, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got like little like tour guides just like, we're going on an adventure. You're the
like
grand summoner
dancing.
now. Let's go find Sin. Woo!
Stay close together.
But there is a familiar face among the crowd, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we go back to where Titus was standing, that very spot. It's like, who's that? Who's standing there?
It's that old motherfucker, question mark.
Yeah.
It says, Yuna, you've changed so much, I hardly recognize you. Remember me? And then we can say yes or no.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters with like 100% at all. I said yes.
What happens if you say no? Does he bring up the fact it's like, oh, I tried to kill you?
If you say no, I think Yeah, he just says, I'm Asaro, summoner forever second to you.
Oh, he doesn't even bring up the murder attempt.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Remember when I tried to murder you?
Oh,
in a
you forget
sewer?
me? That's fantastic news. I was
Oh,
really worried
thank
you'd
God.
remember me for the thing I tried to do to you, but I'm glad you don't. That's good.
Oh, in that case,
Thank you.
I have
Evan,
another
you
speech
forgot.
prepared.
He says,
Yeah,
if you say
yeah.
yes, he says, I'm honored that you remembered me, which it's like, yeah, it's hard to forget, you motherfucker.
Like water under the bridge, I guess.
But
Yep.
Yuna asks him why he's here, and he says, oh, yes, I've been helping Sid with his work. And Riku's just like, hey, don't look at me. I guide people through Zanarkand, and once the most sacred of places. People come from all over Spira, sphere hunters too. And Riku's just like, oh my god, what the fuck is my dad thinking? This shit sucks.
Yeah, Asaro's like, I can see this is upsetting you, but this is a place of great historical importance to all Spira.
Yeah.
But for Yuna's like, yeah, I know, but still, I never wanted to see anyone else stand there. I think responding to Asaro standing in the very spot
in
that
the
we
spot,
kind of,
yeah.
the T is his lookout spot. And he's kind of confused, like, oh, nothing, don't worry about it, is what she says.
Yeah, and she's
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
if you say so. But he's like, oh, I need to get to my work. Please take care, Yuna.
Right.
The escape room. They've converted the cloister into an escape room, right?
Yeah.
Now, delightfully so, the long run across those like bridges and shit or whatever, no longer have to do that. We no longer have to like run 2 or 3 screens for several minutes fighting giant flan to get to the entrance of Zanarkand. They moved it to the next screen. How nice of them. But we do see an even more familiar face on the next screen in the top left corner. It's the Fahrenheit. What?
It's a very low poly version of the Fahrenheit.
A very low poly version of the Fahrenheit.
It doesn't
How
move
delightful.
very much. I don't know why they didn't just make it like a rasterized, like painted version.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
It kind of looks almost PS1 like graphics.
It does. I agree.
It's a little weird that's just there.
I guess it kind of
Something.
makes sense that it would be there, I think.
Yeah, I guess it's Sid's, right?
Given it's like
that.
Sid's, this is his goofy outfit or whatever the fuck the someone said about him when we learned about Sid earlier.
Yeah, yeah. So Sid owns one of the airships, and the other one has a giant painting of him in it. So,
I do also some random tourists. If you talk to them, there was someone who was like, some people who like recognized Yuna. Who was like, hey, you look a lot. You're taller than I pictured.
yeah. Throughout, like, it's funny. Throughout Spira, like, there are NPCs who will just be like, "Oh shit, you're Yuna. What's up? How's it going? Oh, that's crazy."
Are you really the real deal? I am like touched.
Yeah. But at the entrance to Zanarkand proper, or like I
The
guess
dome,
the dome,
the Blitzball dome, very much.
yeah, we see 3 kids standing around, right, and they're like kind of talking amongst themselves that they're getting ready to go on like a little secret mission, right?
Yeah.
And
They're
like
asking
the
about
leader,
what was the clue again?
yeah, one of them's like, "What was the clue?" And another one, the kid goes, the clue was a key. It was key.
The word key. Yeah.
Yeah.
They head out.
Yeah, one of them says, all right, let's head out. And that one doesn't have the name. The others are named Taro and Hannah. And the leader of them, we don't really get to see their name, but they're just like, oh, yes, sir. Like, let's move out.
Yeah.
We've heard mention of these, I think, from, was it Passe?
But,
No, wait, no, this is Passe. But,
from
yeah,
Maroda.
Maroda. He was mentioned starting his own sphere hunting group.
Yeah,
Yep,
the Kinderguardians.
So if you were paying attention, this may all make sense.
This is
Right.
also stuff that I would imagine is in like Shinra's Guide to Everything, where we could be reading up about all of this stuff and getting more backstory, which we have been slacking on just because talking to Shinra sucks.
Nah, it's completely fair. I don't talk to him either.
He knows everything.
I know everything. Yeah, but like, so we are able to walk through the like Blitzball dome, like the ancient
Also,
dome.
did you notice when we move from the screen where the Fahrenheit is on
Yeah.
into the entrance, we see the fading of these goons closing in on the
Yes,
screen?
yes.
As it's fading away, we see some goons running at us.
You can
Little
do that
blonde
over and over
goons.
again. It's very funny.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah, I tried to do
That's
that
cute.
again because I thought it was just a quick like cutscene thing, and then I was like, wait, what was that? Like, I need to see that again. And I went out and went back, and I was like, oh, okay, these are just enemies that I'll probably have to fight.
Yeah. So something going on here has to do with the LeBlanc Syndicate. We don't know yet, though.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, they got their hands in many a pie. But yeah, so we're able to walk through here. It's a pretty good experience. The battles aren't too hard.
There's upgraded versions of those gun snakes.
Yeah,
Mhm. There's upgraded versions of the goons as well. They're no longer the goon and the she goon.
They're married now.
They are now. No, they're not married. They're not married.
Yeah,
They are.
there's Mr. and Mrs. Goon.
No, it's Mr. and Ms. Goon.
Ms. Goon.
So not quite yet.
We're getting closer.
You're getting closer. The final.
Do any of them want to
evolution
marry
it.
this dude?
Yeah, there we go. We got some eligible bachelorettes. I like that there is just one of those little monkeys that we've seen around Spira, and when you talk to the one, it just says the monkey has shifty eyes, and then he runs away from you, and then you go up to him again and it says the monkey has shifty eyes. I talked to this thing like 5 goddamn times. I'm like,
oh, don't talk to it 5 times. It takes your money every time you do it.
Yeah, no.
If you hear like a cha-ching noise,
not this one. This one I didn't hear the cha-ching noise. This was before anyone let me know that monkeys will be stealing gil from me.
The very first one will steal gil as soon as you walk in there.
Yes, that's amazing. That's so funny.
Yep.
That's why he's got the shifty eyes.
I lost so much gil to these fucking monkeys. They keep robbing me.
Just send Awaka down here just as a mean prank.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Awaka should come down here and start fucking like rallying these monkeys together. He'll pay off his debt in no time.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
This is kind of reminds me of like, I'm not sure which countries, but there are like monkeys that'll just steal your shit if you're like not paying attention, like your phone or your glasses, and they'll like hold on to it and let you give them like something really good to eat. Sometimes they're like pretty smart.
It reminds me of like the
exploit tourists. Yeah, specifically tourists.
I'm gonna be real. I wanted to be a tourist there. That sounds funny.
It's a good way to lose your.
I want a cool little monkey man just to steal my wallet.
I think there is like a sad version of that on like tropical islands or like resort towns or whatever, where like the indigenous monkeys of the area like just go up to like drinks on the beach and just get fucking drunk because they just steal tourist drunk. And like you can see the video and be like, oh, that's so funny. These monkeys are getting drunk and stuff. But like when you think about like, oh, the actual like environmental impact on these creatures because of like human just a fucking resort or something, it's like, oh man, it's really depressing.
We need to make it even. If we're gonna get the monkeys drunk, we need to also give them access to firearms. It's only
true.
Right.
It's the only way.
They gotta protect themselves.
That's right.
I think it's like in Bali. I think it's a lot of there's a lot of thieving monkeys.
That's awesome.
That'll just steal your shit from tourists.
Hell yeah, fuck them tourists.
Fuck them tourists. Yeah. So we can work our way through the dome, taking on fights. There's a couple like times we run into like LeBlanc gang members, and then halfway through the area we run into the kindergartens, right? Mm-hmm. And we get the little prompt of like, oh, Lady Yuna, you remember who I am, right? And it's like, it's Passe, right?
Yeah,
we know it's Passe. Maroda said your name earlier.
Billy, this must have been so difficult for you as this being your first Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I was just like, who are you? I love meeting all the brothers just being like, I don't know who the fuck you are, dude.
Yeah.
I walk up the.
Oh yeah, they're all brothers, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're the
I remember they were traveling together, but I forgot they were brothers.
Right. Yeah. He was like the youngest guardian, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Because Maroda was Maroda the summoner? No.
Isaru
was. Yeah.
Isaru was also the one who like had a Pokemon battle with you in like a sewer. And he's like, I'm gonna kill you, Yuna.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you could just be like, I don't remember that. Don't worry.
That was 3 years ago.
That's water under the Via Infinito or whatever it was.
Purifico.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Purifico or whatever.
Yeah, so like the party asks like, hey, what are you doing down here? Like what's going on? And they're like on a treasure hunt. Yeah, there's fiends here. And they're like, well, we're on a treasure hunt. There's supposed to be like a really good treasure here. And we know that the keyword or the password to finding it is key. So remember the word key. And we're like, okay.
They do a really cute like Sentai type of thing.
They
where they're
do.
Like, we're the kindergarten guardians, and like two of them like strike a pose, and then the other one like
Taro's late.
That's right. We're sphere hunters. The kindergartens. The kindergartens.
Taro waits several seconds later and goes, monorail.
Mono dope.
I think. What was his name?
Oh yeah, the voice actor.
That's Kath Sushi, I think is her name. She's the voice of Taro is the same voice as like Phil and Lil from the Rugrats.
Oh, okay.
Vivi in World of Final Fantasy.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I didn't realize that. That's cute.
This is a really cute voice.
I thought they sound familiar.
Yeah. So we kind of like send them on their way, right? We're like, okay, well, learn the word key.
Oh yeah, but one of them's like, "Okay, we paid 15 whole gil for that clue."
Yeah, we paid money for that clue, and that's part of it too, is that they paid money for that clue, right? And that'll come into play in a moment. But as we continue through the dome, we run into one of the goons who is on like his what do you call it?
He's on speakerphone, just yelling.
Yeah, he's just like yelling into his phone or into his like communicator or whatever, and is like, whoever he's communicating to, we only hear the one side of the story, but he's like, "Hey, I'm just checking in just to make sure. I saw some kids earlier, and they were saying the password is key. It's definitely not key, right? Because if I remember right, it was Mon. Like Mon is the password, and then there's like a pause, and he goes, "All right, yeah, that's what I thought. Definitely Mon. All right, take it easy, bro." You know?
I fucking love that guy.
It's so funny. I know. It's so dumb.
I'm gonna be real. The more I see the goons, the more I love them.
Dude, the goons are so good,
especially in this area. These are my favorite goons.
They're like Venture Brothers henchmen. They're fucking great.
Yeah.
No, there's like another goon you meet up with. He's just like, "This place is beautiful," you know?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, you're not a sphere hunter, are you?
Yeah,
just tourists.
What did you guys say to
And you
that?
just say like yes. He's like, "Why do you gotta be honest with me, dude?"
Yeah, he's like disgustingly honest. Yeah,
it's like, I don't want to do my job. Come on.
I usually say like yes to that, and he's like, "Oh, it's disgusting how honest you are," and then you fight him or whatever. This time I actually said no when he was like, "Are you a sphere hunter?" I was like, "No," and he goes, "Dressed like that, there's no fooling me."
Yeah, I had a feeling it would be something
You lie
like
as
that.
badly as you dress.
You lie as badly as you dress. And I was like, "Bruh, have you seen these threads? They're ridiculous. Come on." I look fucking fantastic. I have somebody in a psychic dress for you right now. The drip, ridiculous.
Fuck yeah.
But we have in the first goon interaction, we're thinking like Payne's like, so the clues are key and Mon, and then Goon's like, wait, the Gullwings, and then like a monkey comes out. It's like Keymon, and then Riku's monkey.
Yo, it's monkey.
The shot of Riku saying monkey is so fucking dumb.
It's weird.
It's
I wanted to
weirdly
bring that up.
framed.
Her eyes shoot open, and it's still like crunchy and weird.
Yeah, it
it's
looks
crazy.
really bad.
Like they're all like just single like headshots. Like they could have easily made those like their high poly models. It just seems like really slap.
It's weird because
face is like the one thing I remember about this area. It's like, oh yeah, Riku's screaming monkey with like when she looks like just a painted doll.
And she
they
only
also
takes
did
up
the
like
same shot with like Yuna right before. It doesn't look nearly as bad. It's weird.
yeah. And the way she's framed, it only takes up like the bottom center of the screen. It's very weird.
It's very off-centered. It's very strange. I do like their idle animations though, because Pain is just standing completely still. Yuna's doing like the hands behind her back, like kind of sheepish looking thing, and Riku's just kind of vibing.
Oh yeah, Riku does have that little vibe that she does where she kind of like she A poses and then like rocks back and forth.
Yeah, she's like going up on like the ball of her foot or whatever, and like kind of like tiptoeing a little bit up and down.
And she does that. Sometimes she does a little hand wavy thing.
I'm like looking at the picture. It's so good.
So good, dude.
Why does it look
looks
like
so
that?
bad.
Monkey.
It looks like they just painted like a Barbie doll with her eyes on it. It's like it's so weird.
It's so
getting-
weird.
I'm
Like,
like-
she usually looks good in this game, and I just saw that. I was like, it was very jarring.
I'm gonna post this to my Twitter right
I'm
now.
glad
I took a video of it too, so I can.
It does feel like this is like still in previs, and they just like forgot to like polish this one shot.
I'm gonna say, why TF she look like that? So if you see this tweet, or if you did see this tweet, and you're now listening to the podcast,
2 weeks later.
2 weeks later, you can know why I tweeted that.
Hell yeah.
It's like her eyes are like fucked up. I don't know. It's really weird.
They just they just like flat and painted on.
Yeah, it's so strange.
Anyway,
Uncanny. I'm sure it looked better on a CRT. Actually, I've been wanting to like compare, like watch a lot of these cutscenes in their original PS2.
yeah.
Because even the high res or high poly cutscenes, I feel like just look a little more natural. And the I think part of it is like the muted colors, so the contrast between like the tails is a little more subtle.
Yeah,
Right.
But when,
That makes
it's like when you
sense.
put high res textures on everything. You just like you see like all the seams between the polygons. It looks really weird.
Start seeing the crunch.
start seeing. Yeah, you can only polish. It's like putting like the ridiculous 4K textures in Minecraft. Everything's just
Oh, I love that. I love seeing my computer burst into flames.
But anyway, we can we vaporized this goon, and then the other goon who calls us a liar, or calls us too honest.
Love that, man.
Then
there's one Ms. Goon that we can either interact with or just ignore, and then she'll.
Can you just ignore her?
You can ignore her, but she'll get mad that you've ignored her.
Nice.
Okay.
She's like, "Hey, you're just gonna walk by without acknowledging me, or something like that."
Oh, that's really funny. Yeah, I think if you do acknowledge her, she's like, "Man, I would never beat up any kids." But I can't
She says
wait
I
to
would
beat
never
up you.
pick on. Yeah, I would never pick on kids. But I've been dreaming of picking on you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's funny too because the a little earlier with the kindergartens, like we were like, "Hey, there's fiends around. Why are you guys here? You shouldn't be here." And they're like, "Ha, fiends! They're no match for us." And like all of the goons who have been fighting us are like, "Yeah, we're not going to beat up kids, even though they're like also looking for spheres. They're not a threat. They're fine."
That's the funny thing about like the LeBlanc Syndicate in general is that like. They're like our foils, but we haven't like they don't really seem to be
evil. Yeah,
they're not evil. They're scamps. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like it's all for spheres. So like, what does it fucking matter? Like it's not, the stakes are so low.
I mean, like if anything, we are literally taking artifacts from other locations, like so that we can have them. Like we're doing the imperialism here, and so like so whatever. If they want to have a little fun,
into more slots.
Yeah. If they're trying to steal one from us or whatever, fucking whatever, man. It's fine.
We're just trying to wear spheres. Come on.
We're finding old lost like silent films and then just turning them into like cool storage. For stuff.
We're taking those reels of film and turning them into more belts.
Yeah, are the dress spheres the same as like the spheres that we're watching?
Yeah, because the white mage sphere is
that's what Shinra says.
The footage. Like,
that's very weird.
Treasure chest and shit.
Shinra says like, oh yeah, it's not. It's like even if it's useless, we can turn it into a dress sphere.
Wait, so you can make
or a garment grid, right? I forget what.
Yeah, it would be a dress sphere.
You make them dress spheres. Garment grids are like where you put them in.
Yeah, that's the Yu-Gi-Oh card.
So does that mean we could find like Waka's? I'm just saying hypothetically, we could find Waka's like family sphere and just be like, that'd be a bitch and dress sphere.
This will turn me into the ninja class.
That's to a blitzball player.
Yeah, it's just his dad's like recording of a blitzball game.
It's like, God damn it, our team got stomped by the Zanarkand Abes. It's just Titus doing fucking stunts.
It lets you dress like one of the Luca goers.
I guess they wouldn't be the Abes. Never mind. I'm like, yeah, Waka's parents are also 1,000 years old.
What was the other Zanarkand team? The Douglas? Douglas.
Yeah,
he's a big Doug head.
He's a big Doug head.
Did you guys run into any other familiar friends in this area? Perhaps one that was standing like a guy?
Oh, wait. Was I? I'm not sure if I did.
Yeah, there's behemoths here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, behemoths. And they stand like a guy.
They're standing like a guy.
I encountered one later, I think. But
it's kind of late towards
the ruins.
Yeah. I think it's still in the ruins, but like right before, and then you start encountering a lot more of them. But I did the scan on them. And sometimes called the strongest fiend in Spira, its powerful punches and lightning magic are formidable. However, it's still young and has yet to reach full strength. So these are kind of like the easier ones. But I also remembered that I unlocked scan level 3. So I'm actually able to scan my entire party. So I'm going to read all of the ones that I have here where it's...
Hit me with it.
Yuna, a sphere hunter with the gull wings. Despite her career change, no one's forgotten her as Sphere's top celebrity. Now she looks to Riku as a role model. But why?
What?
But why?
And then there's Pain, a member of the Gull Wings. Her lukewarm attitude is only cover. Even Pain has her moments of gull wing bliss. She doesn't like to talk about herself. Maybe she's shy. And then there's Riku, which says, the Gullwing Princess of Pep, a perky eater, a perky sleeper, but also a no-nonsense fighter who knows how to get the job done. Riku's always ready to rock.
Who's right?
Like, did Riku write this? It's like, yeah, like her role model is, Yuna's role model is Riku. And then Riku is also like the most glowing thing. I'm like, did Riku write these?
It must be, yeah. Unless it's like,
I wonder if it's like if it changed. That was Riku that I was doing, so I wonder if the scan changed. I'll try that again for next week.
So it's like, is their perspective? That's really interesting. So
Maybe.
if Eunice scans it, would
yeah,
be
yeah.
different.
Let me try that. That would be really fun. We'll check back next week.
But we make it into the chamber before the cloister room, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And there's like tons of people around who are like in mostly empty chests.
So this is where we learn about.
This is where you buy your geodes and shit.
Yeah, we kind of learn about like what the scam is in the Zanarkand ruins, and like I said, like earlier, where I was like, no, people have a right to see it or whatever, but like the way they're doing it is a little sus, because what they're doing is they're like selling like adventure packages where they're like, yeah, you pay so much gil. And then we'll set a treasure chest somewhere for you to find.
So much gil, and then we put it on the blockchain, and you will have a fungible version of.
Yeah, you open a treasure chest, and then there's just a single NFT inside.
Nothing funged here.
Oh, but that explains all the monkeys.
Oh my god!
Holy shit!
All my monks, all my apes.
Instead of bored apes, they're in love apes.
Can love bloom on the blockchain?
But yeah, we can talk to one of like the people heading this up, like one of the employees here, and they say, treasure surprise, 100 gil per chest. They're so fabulous, we're all sold out. And when we talk to some of the patrons here, they're like, this seems like a scam. Everything that I got was just a couple of potions. Like every treasure chest I spent money on was just
treasure surprise, my shoe puff, says one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're like selling these like adventure experiences, but inside of like a real actual ruin, like a historical ruin or whatever. So like
one
it is
very
a little
personally affecting to the high summoner who saved the world.
Right. But we know that we have the Gull Wings. We know the Kindergardians. We know the LeBlanc Syndicate.
Oh,
but we meet a fourth group of Sphere Hunters. I guess Sphere Hunters always come in threes.
Watch out.
But the most important group of Sphere Hunters is in this very room. There are these three old women talking to each other, and they say that we're the grannies, a Sphere Hunting group, and we're having a meeting right now. And I was like, the grannies,
So
let's go.
Yeah. I love that what one of them says. She says, they call these fiends? Huh, I've coughed up scarier things.
So badass. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about the grannies as we go through the game.
I'm waiting for them to become the Gull Wings' like main rival.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be really
They
hard.
just killed the LeBlanc Syndicate, just gone. It's just the grannies now.
They're the super boss in this game. Like penance, nothing, dude. The grannies are fucked up.
It's your reward for getting 100%. You get a chance to fight them.
There are some youth league recruiters hanging out in the back of the room.
There are,
everyone.
And they're like doing like a. They're like looking out over everybody with their like hands over their eyes or whatever. It's pretty funny, but they're like, it looks like those people are with New Yevon. I don't think they're gonna join us. Yeah,
I like that we go inside the like the cloister itself, and
it's so weird that the cloister is just part of the rest of the building, because I expected the music to kick in, and it's just like, it's just everything's still here, but it's just like the lights are turned up like on Space Mountain or some shit like that. It's like everything's exposed.
As soon as we go into the next room, I like shuddered a little bit. I was like, I don't want to do these fucking puzzles again.
Yeah, honestly,
and luckily you don't
it's
have
a
to.
scam now, but it's kind of an upgrade from what it was before. Like, let's be honest. But I also like that they increased the price of the treasure chests in here. Treasure galore, 150 gil per chest. They're so fabulous, we're all sold out.
She's just pocketing the 50 gil.
Yeah, it's really cute too. We get into like the other area where the main part of the puzzle was, and the Kindergardians are over in the corner around an open treasure chest, and they're cheering. And I think they get like 4 potions or something, and they're just like, "Oh, what a great treasure haul!" It's like, it's working on them because they're children, and that's very cute. But
right, and then we do see a monkey that's in love, and we get the comment, it's in love."
And you can tell that it's in love because little pink hearts are floating out of its head.
Just like real life.
And then Riku says, the key is monkey. And it made me think, I gotta do a monkey puzzle. Of course.
Yeah, same.
You can't just walk up to the elevator and turn it on. That's stupid.
Yeah,
It's a
surely
cloister.
like they wouldn't hit us with this whole monkey thing the entire time, and then it becomes entirely irrelevant.
Yeah,
It's just a word. Yeah, it's not like the key. The monkeys are the key. It's
Look,
just the key. It's
It's
literally
the password.
Monkey. They already
It's the
told
password. You got to know.
gotta
the
be monkeys, dude. Trust me. You
It
just gotta
definitely
chase them
definitely-
around.
definitely becomes important later.
Especially because when you interact with them, they have specific names that are highlighted. Like Max is in love,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and stuff like that. It's like, oh, do I have to remember like there's gonna be like a puzzle like Jesse has a crush on so and so, but so and so only likes monkeys that look like this.
Oh
So what
boy,
is Chris
will
in-
there be.
Like specifically,
Oh fuck, what?
there was a
Yeah.
monkey in this room who I thought you had to chase around to another monkey. And every time you interact with him, he robs gil from you. So I lost like a few thousand gil trying to help this monkey.
Yeah, there's a bunch of monkeys that you can find, and it says all their names like Peke drools tentatively. This monkey seems non-committal. Goldie
Just
looks
like me.
ready to rant. Summer looks unfulfilled. Sequoia is fuming. She is asking, "Did you come here to kill or did you come here to die?"
I was gonna say, I was trying. I was going for something.
The listeners can't see that I'm wearing a Protest the Hero shirt, but they can probably sense it.
Did you really think that spaceships would descend from
Birch
the
bats
sky?
his eyelashes timidly.
But yeah. So we take the elevator down.
That's
to
that's another joke for Zwanzig. Then Zwanzig will
Yeah,
understand.
Zanzig totally know
our
it.
music knower. It's for you, buddy. Sorry, you were saying we take the elevator down.
Yeah, we get the cool little glyph thing, that effect that happens when we take the elevator. But we had to fight like a boss here originally.
Indeed,
right?
we did.
Was that the Sanctuary Keeper or whatever?
Sanctuary Guard?
Guardian or something.
Yeah.
It was a really weird fight too because it was
like a
one of
puzzle
the
fight.
platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a 3-way kind of puzzle fight.
Yep.
Yeah,
Where,
there's
they
like
could rotate around and attack different people.
Did that have a kick-ass boss theme, or was that just the standard boss theme? I can't remember. I mean,
they're
all of them
all
were
shredded.
fucking awesome, but
I think it might have a unique boss theme.
can't
Because it's like
remember.
it was just a unique boss in general. They like
Yeah.
changed
Yeah.
the game's mechanics on you, and it's like there's a new swap mechanic. It's like, oh no,
yeah.
So he had like changed spots because it was like broadcasting like where it was going to attack. or
yeah,
something.
he like turn around sometimes just fart and like do damage to you.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, nothing that cool happens here.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
No.
we go down, there's a save point, and also there's a lady there who's just dancing. She's like dancing.
She's just
and-
dancing.
And you talk to her and she's like, ahead is the place where the faith for the final summoning was said to dwell. I'm sure you'll agree it's fab. And then she stops and she just goes, Lady Yuna, I hope you're enjoying retracing your steps from your pilgrimage.
Yeah.
It's just like the disrespect of just like all of this shit going on. She's like, here's where the summoner was ready to die for all of our sins and save the world for a short time. And oh shit, I'm talking to the person who was supposed to die here. And I'm,
Yep.
oh, that's
Yeah.
awkward.
Yeah, when she calls it fabulous, it was fabulous.
It was so fucking tight. Oh shit.
This is like the Chamber of the Faith, right?
Yeah,
where-
yeah.
That was always so weird. Like the seeing like the weird living statue of like a faith in the floor.
Oh yeah, actually, that does. I wanted to bring that up. It's just like the faith is just still in the floor, like covered in monkeys, and like this lady just standing there.
I think
I
they
think
all
in the
disappeared.
last cutscene, as we like sent them off, they kind of like their kind of totem like hardened over as if like their actual spirit like kind of evacuated.
Yeah.
So they is just like a statue now.
I don't know, it just feels kind of disrespectful.
Didn't all the faith like disappear? Like we can only get them back if they if we get 100%.
So in this next room is Sid. It's our boy. The final showdown with Sid. Here he is. And he's talking to the Pain from Metal Gear Solid 3, which is delightful.
Oh,
That guy's
yeah.
He's still
right.
here.
Still here. Love this dude gets around. But he is delighted to see Yuna, right? Like he turns around.
His first line just made me think of the like, fucking nuts seller from Kung Pao Enter the Fist. Like, well, I'll be.
Well, I'll be if it isn't Yuna!
But he's like, oh, did you come here to buy a clue from Uncle Sid? And it's like,
a lot of nuts.
You want fries with that?
but yeah, he asked if we came to buy.
$5, baby. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, Curtis.
You're fine. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I love it.
Um,
I want them back.
he says, Oh, did you come here to buy a clue from me? And it's like, oh, Sid, you fucking scumbag.
Come
you
to buy a
dirtbag.
clue from Uncle Sid? And then
Yeah.
Riku says something in Al bed.
She's like, what were you thinking? What are you doing? Yeah.
Turning this place into a gift shop. Yeah, and he says, what, you got a bone to pick? And as Yuna, you have to say, you bet I do. You can say not really, but for 100%, I think you have to say, you bet I do.
Yep. And he's like receptive to it, right? He's like, oh, you got a problem with me? Well, what's up? What's the problem?
What's eating
And she
you?
says like, she's like, man, what you're doing here is not right, you know? Like, it's hard to describe, but I don't know what to say. And then Riku's like, imagine if we turned the ruins of home into a theme park. And
Sid's like,
Sid's just like,
I see your point.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah.
In my brain, the way that this played out is Sid like suddenly like grabs blueprints of like the theme park that he's gonna put where home was and like crumbles it up and throws it off the side.
Coming
He's just, like,
soon.
He's like, oh god, yeah, we should probably not do that. That was a bad idea.
Yeah. I do think it's funny how like quickly he gives it up though. Like it never occurred to him even once. Like that was a bad idea.
I hate seeing a sad Sid face.
What I really like about this is I feel like this is very much a Yevon holy place, and like as an Albed who has had to deal with the forefront of all of the racism from Yevon, I can see where he's be like, yeah, well, fuck it. I mean, like whatever. Let's just like that God doesn't exist anymore. Like let's just use it for our ends. Like I can kind of see that logic, but it's also like, oh yeah, maybe this was super fucked up.
Right, yeah. But yeah, he's more than willing to let it go, and he walks off, right? After he's just like, oh, I see your point. He's done.
Yeah. And then when you talk to the Pain, who he was talking to, not to be confused with Pain, our friend and confidant.
I hope listeners know who the Pain is from Metal Gear Solid 3. Like by this point, you have to have looked it up, right? Like if you haven't, and you're constantly like, who are they talking about?
Just keep not looking it up. But yeah, he says.
I mean, Metal Gear Solid Delta will be out soon enough, and everyone will know.
Yeah, exactly. He says, keep an eye on your gill. These monkeys have sticky fingers. The ones that are in love are friendly enough, though.
Boy, do I know.
I thought they would they're implying that the ones that are in love just give you money.
Those monkeys have sticky fingers, much like Bucciarati from JoJo's Part 5.
Okay, I thought
anyone?
Look at that little JoJo man.
Little JoJo man.
I thought you were going to quote Mr. Burns and say like those orderlies have sticky fingers or whatever. With his last ounce of strength, he sucked out all of his fillings,
gold fillings,
solid them. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next room is kind of like there are like 6 treasure chests around and monkeys like littered all over the floor. And there's like a miniature challenge of trying to get to the different treasure chests without walking over top of the monkeys, and then they still gill from you.
Mm-hmm. And there's the little noise of your gill getting taken from you.
Yeah. There's like an elixir in here. There's an ether, some remedies. Nothing to write home about. It's something important.
And once again, I've lost hundreds of gil.
I think it is 100 gil each time you interact with a monkey, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm really not good with these monkeys. I just keep wanting to pet them. They're my little friends. They just keep robbing me though.
Yeah, and then the last room that we go into is the room where we fought
Unaleska.
Thank you. I was getting ready to call her Megadeth. I was like, that is not correct.
That's her cool ass move.
That's her cool ass move that she uses, Megadeth. Yeah,
that's when I like purposely let people get zombified.
This is where we fight the whole band of Megadeth. Dave Mustaine shows up. Yeah,
I was actually surprised that this room exists because like it feels like a very like non-existing space.
Yeah.
That just is just like, oh, this is actually like an actual physical space that the Faith or Unaleska built.
There's just space in here.
It's just a floating place. It is Final Destination, no items.
It's just a dark ride.
But yeah, when we enter Yuna reminisces, because this is where the big now is the time.
Now is the time
happened.
Yeah.
2 years ago, we cast off our beliefs here, our false hope. And then we go like, well, yeah, that's right. As we enter,
some more monkeys in here. We can talk to Pain, who says like, we can't go back until we find that sphere. And Riku's like, oh yeah, this brings back a lot of memories. And then we hear an ominous voice laughing.
Evil laughter.
Mwahahaha.
Yeah, you have done well to make it this far, Sphere Hunters, but you will not have the treasure you seek so easily.
And Pain's just like, okay, we're gonna fight you then. Like, we're gonna fight.
The way that this dialogue is done is so fucking funny. It's
really good.
They like that big pause is there so easily. That's so good.
He's like, yeah, if you want the treasure, you must speak the password. And Payne's like, password. And
Riku's
like, oh, I
just
guess
like,
the,
oh, I know
the
that.
clues. Yeah.
And then like Riku's like, oh yes, I know the password is monkey.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, so that's good.
Yeah, he's taken it back. He didn't expect us to know the password. So he's just like, oh, yes, good. And then he goes, oh, okay. Like the fucking,
he's
like the
voices
fry
cracking
cook from
and stuff.
fucking The Simpsons. So tell me now.
Squeaky voice teenager.
Yeah, squeaky voice
I don't
teenager.
think he's coming back. It goes, so now tell me, what is the meaning of life?
Yeah.
And then we get some
5
prompts.
options.
Yeah.
I love these options.
So I guess we'll go with the correct option first, which is that you, Isaru? Which is, you need to do that one.
If you want,
but the options that you get are pretty good. To bring the calm, okay, that's understandable. To hunt spheres, pretty good.
Yeah, there you go.
Again,
monkeys.
And then the best one, which should be the correct answer, which is to marry a Hypello.
To marry a Hypello, which I think I know the any percent speedrun does the to marry a Hypello. That's actually the shortest one.
Hey, really?
They do.
Why is that the shortest?
It gives you the least amount of text afterwards.
Does the target just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's like, But
That's because I thought all the options are like the same. We'll say the same thing because he just says wrong, and then Riku says, hey, that voice kind of sounds familiar.
Oh, really? Well, maybe.
They're just doing it for fun.
Maybe they just do it for fun. I always see everybody do it, though.
Maybe it's just a good goof.
Maybe it's just a good goof. Maybe it's one of those things where, like, if you don't do Omni Slash at the end of FF7, people are like, fake, doesn't count. Yeah, sure, you got it done 10 seconds earlier, but it doesn't count. You didn't Omni Slash. Do it again. Or an FF8 if you don't save the dog. Restart, save the dog. Anyway.
We call him out. We call Isaru out.
Yeah. Yeah, we call Isaru out, but like, is that you, Isaru? And he goes, is that your final answer? But yeah, Riku's like, all right, jig's up, show yourself, Isaru. And he comes out and he explains what he's doing. He's like, yeah, this is kind of like my little grift now. It's this thing that he does. And he justifies it as like, no, I'm literally showing people the ruins, right? Like my entire life up to a certain point was just wanting to come here. And that was like my reason for living because he was a summoner. You know, the dream of every summoner is to make it to Zanarkand, to this room. And he's like, and now I work here showing other people this place. And it kind of like fulfills that desire for me. Right.
Yeah.
And if you call him out and say, is that you, Isaru? He gives you the Heart Reborn garment grid.
Yeah.
Nice.
We have found the heart of the cards.
Which, if you equip it, lets you use life and cura.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Ooh. And then we had I like that it shows his face and his like mouth moves a little bit, but he does his game show voice again. And so it's very weird hearing the voice come out of his model where he's like, okay, thanks for coming. And remember, the ruins of Zanarkand will be waiting.
And remember, the ruins of Zanarkand will be waiting.
You fucking weirdo, Isaru.
And he was the one that when we ran into his brothers, they were like real hush hush about, right? Like,
Maroda was like,
what's Isaru up to? And it was just
he was clearly like frustrated with what Isaru was doing. He's like, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about what Isaru is doing. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I thought they were just being nice about like, hey, he was the brother that tried killing you. We didn't do that.
Oh yeah, that's a good point too. It could have been that for sure.
Yeah, it's just been a little awkward. Be like, hey, our brother tried killing you. He's also a tour guide now. You want to hang out with him?
A tour guide who grifts.
Yeah.
But Payne mentions that the sphere oscillofinder is still picking up a signal, so there still should be a sphere here.
Yeah. So we go down
and this is interesting because the stairway that we have to go down actually never led anywhere in the last game.
No, I think it just took you back to the beginning, right? You're trying to go down it.
So it's kind of cool that it just it now has a purpose outside of just going back the way we came.
Yeah. And there is indeed a sphere down there. And a fiend. Oh, it's a fiend. And
this is the one with the ex-sanctuary guardian,
yes.
Right?
Yeah,
Guardian
this is the one you spawned inside the head of.
When it
with the big like cool horns and shit.
When it shows up, what is it? Who's a Eunice says like, "Yo, do you think we need a password for this one?" And Payne says, "How about kick its ass?" And then we get into a fight with it.
Hell yeah.
Which I did not. Once again, I did not one hit KO it, but I did just kind of like hold the A button for about 40 seconds, and it was fine. So.
This is the fight where I just did a lot of I did do the scan on it as well. A fiend that dwells in the ruins of Zanarkand. It likes fear waves and tries to stay as close to spheres as it can, which is his motivation, I guess. I just did a bunch of power breaking.
Just like us.
Yeah, just like us, just like me, for real. I used a bunch of power breaks on it, so it wasn't doing too much damage. And then I switched everyone into the warrior class and did assault, which casts berserk, haste, I think shell and protect on your party. So like and they all just like 1, 2, 3, like immediate chains just going really quick and just beating the shit out of him. And it was just like, okay, I took it down to like half health, and then I just immediately melted it by going into assault. It was really
that move
fun.
is super awesome.
It's really cool.
I need to make sure I have assault turned on because Riku got, I think this fight ended just after Riku got like vaporized, because I think in the second phase it does like this kind of beam attack where it showers us with shit.
Oh damn, yeah. I saw that in the wiki page. I did not see that in the game though.
It was taking us, but I was doing lots of power breaks and shit.
Yeah, I was just pepper. Like I had a Riku and Pain as warriors, and one of them would just power break, the other one would armor break, and then I just had Yuna casting spells.
I had a I guess it's immune to demi attacks because I had a some sort of demi move,
demi sword.
Demi sword.
Yeah.
And it didn't do shit.
It sure is. I'm looking at the scan, and it is immune to gravity, but it's weak to everything else.
That's good.
Yeah. Magic fucking toasts his ass right up. If you have like Firaga by this point, you can just like one hit KO him. Just like
I think I just DM'd Curtis like, what do I do to play this game good? He said just have Black Mage.
Just have Black Mage. That'll get you up to like the 3rd chapter, and then just get a chemist, and then you're fine for the rest of the game.
I just have Yuna Black Mage. That's all I need. It's just like 10.
Exactly. That's all you need.
Go. A little preview for what's coming up in Final Fantasy X-2. Potion and high potion mixed to make Mega Elixir. What the fuck?
Holy
what the
shit,
fuck?
dude.
No, maybe it's not. No, it's not Mega Elixir. It's Is it whatever? Like it's like the all healing all potion or whatever.
Wait, so is that like what Riku's thing was in the last game?
Yeah, you just get to do it every turn. It's
That's
awesome.
sick.
That's cool.
That's amazing.
And it's like the 2 cheapest items, just like full heal the whole party.
Nice. So we'll be able to buy all those from Awaka and
there you go.
Have ourselves a nice little grift ourselves.
But yeah, and then we beat the boss. We were able to get our sphere, but it is not a full sphere. Sphere?
It is only half a sphere.
It's only half of one. Which, looking at it, it's like a good 3/4, frankly.
It's got a bite taken out of it.
Yeah. It looks so tasty.
Yuffie must have been here.
Yeah, Payne's like all that for nothing. It's like, I mean, it's half a sphere. Like, it's not nothing.
She's a sphere half full kind of person.
Yeah, and that's mission complete, right?
Yeah, Yuna's like, I can't believe how much this place has changed.
Yep.
Yeah.
This one is not a dress sphere or anything like that, so we just got to go back. And when we go back, we are immediately thrown into the next
hotspot
mission.
So like we see the airship. We get a little cutscene going. With Brother giving us a command, and we're getting reports of an awesome sphere. Looks like it's already drawn quite a crowd. The reports say the reports are from Kilika Woods. Yuna just says, "I want that sphere."
Gotta get that sphere.
Yeah, so and brother, they're like already decided, and Brother's like, hey, wait, who's the leader here? I am. I give the orders around here. And Payne's just like, okay, we're listening, and he just says, "Let's go, party! Oh, party!"
And then he does the David Lee Roth scream, Van Halen.
Andrew WK starts fucking coming up like the guitar for "It's Time to Party." Starts queued up.
Yeah. And so like that will take us into the next episode of the podcast. But at this point, you can't go back. There's no going back to anything in chapter 1. Like you are locked into the end of chapter 1 now. But on the overworld selection screen, even though you're locked into choosing Kilika, the top right will have your completion percentage. And if you are following along and you're doing 100%, you should have 23 in that number. And if you have 23 there, you are on track for 100.
I do, but I'm still worried about it because there have been points where it's like, you should be at 19% here, and I'm at 18, so I feel like I'm missing something somewhere. And I'm like, fuck.
You gotta talk to all those monkeys. Not really.
Yeah, you have to talk to every single monkey to get 100%. So do it multiple times, too, just in case.
Yeah.
You gotta know all their personality traits.
My uncle works at Final Fantasy too.
My uncle works at Final Fantasy. Yeah, so that's it for this episode of the podcast. I suppose we should decide what we're going to do for the next episode. Obviously, we are going to do Kilika, right?
Of course.
Oh boy, I'm excited about Kilika.
I'm excited to meet our favorite hot dog once again. That'll be delightful.
Our favorite couple.
Our favorite couple back again.
I'm so excited to see them again. I love them.
So yeah, we'll like I said, we'll go along with what the guide says. So we'll finish up Kilika, and then we'll probably maybe go through Besaid Island, I think.
Again,
we'll go right back to Besaid.
Yeah, back to Besaid, baby.
So 2 episodes in a row, we'll do a little Besaid Island. I think that'll be good. And then, like, there are some, like, small scenes if we go back to, like, Kilika, stuff like that. Like, Luca has a small scene. So who knows? Maybe we'll go back there and check those out because they're short, but probably no further than that. Yeah.
Let's see.
And that's what we'll do next time. Billy, thank you for hanging out with us today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know that you said it at the top of the show, but just to give us a reminder, where can people find you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/BillySmilesXXL. I am very loose with my schedule, and you will catch me just playing random fucking garbage.
Hell yeah.
I'm thinking of just playing, like, Koldelka on stream.
Oh, the game rules. The Shadow Hearts.
It's cool. I'm really bad at it. It's like, I think it's funny.
I actually wanted to learn the speedrun for that game, but in the first, like, it's like 30 minutes into it, there's just like a dice roll that if you don't get the right roll, you just need to restart. And I was like, my heart can't take that.
That sounds amazing.
That's
I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's like there's a point when you're getting ready to fight the first boss of that game where in the shed or like the room that you're in before you go to it, you can find a weapon in there that is one of 6 random elements.
Oh.
And if it's 2 certain elements, they literally don't work on the first boss. Like, it does 0 damage, and you have nothing at that point because you're speedrunning. So it's just like, oh, you can't win now. You have to restart. So, yeah.
Ain't that just the way?
But there is one element that you do double damage on the boss with. So that's how you get the good times.
Nice.
But I don't want to reset, fucking 5 out of 6 times. So I said, fuck that noise. Anyway, Alex. Can you think of one, Carl? I haven't thought of one yet.
Damn it.
What did we do today? Oh,
I was going to say something about sticky fingers, but...
Oh, yeah.
Alex, do you want to pick on these little kids?
Would you like to go into the cave of man and come out a father?
Yeah, we talked about a lot today.
We sure did. Covered a lot of ground.
I would love to. Thank you again, Billy, for coming on. This has been a hoot.
Yeah, no problem.
Come back anytime.
Both a hoot and a holler.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Noriko Matsuda and Takahito Aguchi for the game music. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you're listening to us. You can find us at EveryFNFF on Blue Sky, Instagram, YouTube, and I suppose Twitter. I've been very bad at it. And hop into our Discord. You can find a link in the description. And I just want to double check the clue. It's pod, right? No, I just want to make sure. I heard some kids saying it was cast. Okay. I figured it was pod. Over and out.
All right, I'll take it easy. Have a good.